Kelly Jarman reporting from the Minges Overton baseball field. I'm a part of the Pitt County Post broadcast team, and we're going to be bringing you live stream of most of the home games this season. Now I'm going to introduce you to the rest of the broadcast team. Whether you live 15 minutes away or 1,500 miles away, we hope you'll tune in with us for every live broadcast. And if you want more information about the players, games, and to get weekly updates, send your emails to the link at the bottom of the screen.
Jason Wood is a Greenville product, went to D.H. Conley High School, has been in the coaching ranks now I think 9 years now, has managed the Morehead City Marlins the last 2 years in the CPL Collegiate League, and has managed the Gastonia Grizzlies the previous 2 years before that. So he does a great job. We all wear different hats. Jason does some infield work, does some hitting work, does some recruiting. Joe Karachi used to be the head baseball coach for the ECU club team, has joined the Bulldog staff this year as well. A wealth of knowledge. Joe's club team has won or has been to the national championship on 4 different occasions, winning it in one opportunity. So probably the best situation I've ever been in as far as coaches. It's nice to have guys that you can count on, and both of those guys are very dependable. And 3 sets of eyes and 3 minds are definitely better than 1 set and 1 mind.
At Greenville Auto World, big changes are taking place.
And now those changes are finally complete.
Greenville Auto World's long-awaited expansion features a new state-of-the-art repair facility that's larger than ever. With a spacious showroom and increased staff, every aspect of our new building was planned with greater customer experience in mind. No hassles, no frustrations, just top-notch care and the cleanest cars, trucks, and SUVs in the area.
To have your great customer experience, visit us in person or on the web at greenvilleautoworld.net.
I'm Kelly Jarman, and we talked with Greg Clark, the assistant baseball coach of the North Carolina Wesleyan JV team. He said with the JV team, they are more concerned about player development than the wins and losses. For the record, they are 7-2. They started JV full-time in 2013, and that puts their total roster to 47. He said their JV team serves several purposes. First, young player development, and hopefully future varsity playing time. Secondly, at times it is used for backup varsity position players and pitchers to get game reps. Today's game, it is just all about the JV guys. Lastly, it just adds overall depth to their program. He said their leading JV guys are Danielle Totten, Trey Posolero, and Luke Mills. Chris Aubrey is their best defensive player. He's a varsity utility infielder used for late inning defense. He's playing today to get some at-bats. Noah Schrock is a freshman varsity relief pitcher that is in the designated hitter spot today. They are hoping he can be a varsity player next year. Chris Sullivan is their starting pitcher, and today they will be throwing 4 or 5 pitchers. All right, Coach, what are your expectations for today's game?
It's hard to say. It's been a week and over a week since we played, so this past weekend being a washout, and we're not going to throw any of our weekend starters. We're actually going to throw our relief guys. it's kind of scripted out, not necessarily in order. So, it's going to be interesting to see some of those guys get an opportunity. Some of those guys haven't pitched in 2 weeks, and so the expectations are always high. I mean, there's no way around that. We want to go out there and compete at our best, but at the same time, our guys are excited to play finally after a 2-week layoff.
Coach Easton, on that topic, you got any pitch counts or anything like that you can let us know about that you're working on your guys or anything for today?
No, we like I said, Blake Morgan's going to start the game. He's going to go 2 innings, and then we've got I think 7 relievers that are going to go 1 apiece. So that's kind of, like I said, kind of scripted out, but who in that situation is going to go back to back to back is left to be determined.
All right, and how do you approach midweek non-conference games?
Giving people opportunities that may have not had opportunities on the weekend. This being a little bit different since we haven't played in such a long time. We've got to get our starters some work and get prepared for this weekend's contest against Catawba Valley.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. My name's Sammy Kraft. I went to North Pitt High School, and my position is catcher.
All right. So what got you started into playing baseball, Sammy?
I started when I was about 9. I just really needed something to do, like athletic-wise, and I really liked it, so I kept playing with it.
Okay. And who, besides Coach Easton, has really influenced your baseball career? Like, who really got you into playing baseball?
I had a coach way back, Coach James Molinari. He really taught me the game. Like, he went over every aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Him, and then my high school coach, Coach Meadows, he was a great coach. He really helped me along. So, yeah, I really point out those 2.
That's great. And what has been your favorite? Is this your second or first year playing with
This is
Pitt?
my first.
This is your first? So I know you haven't had a lot of time here, but do you have a favorite memory so far from this season? Or you can even say like your favorite memory from high school? Like what is your favorite baseball memory that you have?
I would have to go with, I had a walk-off in high school to win the Easter tournament. That was awesome.
That's so cool. And after college, like after Pitt, I know you probably want to transfer to D1 University, so that's obviously going to be your first goal. But if you don't like continue on your baseball career after college, what do you hope to do with the rest of your life?
I'm hoping on transferring to ECU, majoring in mechanical engineering. But yeah, that's
and what would be the dream job, like after college?
I don't know, something in that field of mechanical engineering, somewhere around that road.
Okay. Well,
Making
thank
money.
you.
All right, thank you.
Hello, and welcome to a live stream internet event presented and produced by the Pitt County Post. This webcast is originated from Winterville, North Carolina, which is just outside Greenville in the eastern part of North Carolina. We're on the campus of Pitt Community College at the beautiful Minges Overton Baseball Complex. Today's game is between the Pitt Community College Bulldogs and the North Carolina Wesleyan JV battling Bishops. The announcers for today's games are Jay and John McCormick. Now I'm going to pass it over to Jay.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Proud to announce that the PittCountyPost.com is live streaming this afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Had a little bit of a change in the starting time because of the weather. A little rain came through last night, and actually the Pitt Community College baseball team, staff, and members of the crew around here have put in a long day's work getting this field in beautiful playing conditions for this afternoon. I am proud to announce John McCormick is our play-by-play guy for this afternoon, and Mike Mullis, a well-known baseball figure here in Pitt County in eastern North Carolina and a former assistant coach for Coach Tommy Easton here at Pitt Community College, will also be joining us for the first part of the game. John, we are lucky to have. John has a lot of experience calling ball games. He calls for a lot of games for the university, and we're just real fortunate to have him today. So I'll throw it over to John for our play-by-play, and Mully will be working his way in here with conversation, as we all know. John, welcome.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for having me, Pitt County Post. I'm really excited about the game. I know Pitt Community College is also ready to get back on the field. A couple of rain delays in the game. Almost got rained out tonight, but an hour delay, and that's better for them as they'll take the field. And it's North Carolina Wesleyan, the JV team, coming in today. Some of the backup varsity players and the younger players in that four-year school will be on the field tonight, and we'll see a lot of pitchers from both sides today. And it's always interesting when you're playing after you haven't played in a while. A lot of different faces will take the field for Pitt, and it's an opportunity, as both coaches have said in this one coming into this game, as Tommy Easton for Pitt Community College, and Greg Clark, the head coach of the JV team for North Carolina Wesleyan, are giving opportunities to their players today, and we'll see if they can capitalize on those opportunities as younger players.
Thought it was interesting, Coach Easton's pregame comments, of course, about the pitching mechanism he had in place for today. Mully, give us some opinion about what you think. Mike Mullis joins us, obviously, as I said earlier. How are midweek games handled at this level of baseball?
You get in a situation where you'll get in a situation where you'll see the vaunted Johnny Holstaff, and that means a little bit of this guy and a little bit of this guy. So I think that's probably what Tommy's planning on going with. Interesting umpiring crew we have here, probably two of the senior guys in the area, Claude Kennedy and Joe Kalinda, Jolton Joe Kalinda. So every time Joe's at the ballpark, guaranteed to be some activity.
The good thing about it is these men have never missed a call.
No, and and I don't know how many they've seen.
No, we are very lucky. They have spent a long time in the umpiring profession. They take their work very seriously, and they're also very entertaining. I think both coaches know them very well.
Yeah, they've. If you've played baseball or been to a ballpark in Eastern North Carolina in the last 25 years, you've seen one of these two gentlemen.
Molly, let me ask you a question. We talk about it regularly on broadcast. Coach Easton gets absolutely tired of talking about it because it's his park, it's where he's at. But talk about the wind here at MO. How is it?
Well, you know what, and this is an interesting ballpark. All the years I spent here, you don't see many days where it is calm, and today you have it straight in your face. As we like to say, a lot of traffic up top. I'm going to guess it's probably gusting up 20, maybe even north of that. So it affects some strategy. You'll hear guys comments made from dugouts, pitch the park, pitch into the teeth of the wind. So always interesting out here at the ballpark over at Pitt Community College, Minty's Overton complex. Beautiful place. They've done an amazing job getting this field ready for today's game.
No doubt. John, you got some starting lineups for us today for North Carolina Wesleyan, maybe leading off?
We'll start off with the visiting North Carolina Wesleyan battling Bishops. Batting first in the right fielder is Mr. Mills, and right behind him in the lineup playing second base is number 16, Chris Aubrey. Behind Chris Aubrey, batting in the third spot, the center fielder. He's wearing number 55 today. It's Donnell Totten. And playing shortstop is the freshman Trey Passerello. And in left field will be number 42, Kevin Berry. At the DH position today for the battling Bishops is Zach Byers. And behind the plate for North Carolina Wesleyan is Christian Heisey. And playing third base on the hot corner for Wesleyan is number 52, Tremaine White, and over there at first base in the 9 slot is number 56, David Whitemore. On the mound for the Bishops today is Sullivan, and Chris Sullivan is coming in as a starting pitcher. He's a freshman from Cary, North Carolina, Panther Creek High School, 6'2", 225 pounds. He's a right-hander. He'll take the mound first out of the many pitchers that the battling Bishops will have on the mound today. And for Pitt Community College, it's a common lineup that they have used. Batting first and playing center field is number 36, Patrick Wheeler. In the 2 spot, it is the shortstop and number 2 hitter, Tommy Bullock. In the 3 hole, it is Daniel Milui, who leads the team with a team-high batting average, 424. In the 4 spot, leading in RBIs and playing first base today, Dominique Camarada. And in the 5 hole, the DH today is number 9, Drew Piskorik. In the 6 hole is playing second base, and he'll be wearing number 7. It's Mason Pickard. In the 7 hole is number 28, Byron Belcher. He'll be playing third base. In the 8 hole is the left fielder, and he'll be wearing number 23, Reese Farmer. And rounding out the group is the right fielder, number 30, Braxton Green. On the mound today for the Pitt Community College Bulldogs is Blake Morgan, the 6'2", 210-pound sophomore from Durham, North Carolina, Riverside High School. And his numbers on the year are 1 ERA with a 1-2 record overall. 0-2 record on the season. 9 innings pitched. He's given up 10 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, walked 2, and struck out 11 so far this season. He'll be the first. Expect him to go about 2 innings, and then we'll see a handful of relievers coming on for the Bulldogs.
Kind of a couple interesting things here. I think indicative of the Wesleyan JV roster, you see their numbers that are on their backs. They look like defensive backs and running backs coming out 45, 32, 34, 46 at the plate. But, you know, what I'm impressed with is I see people come into the stands here, and obviously as we tell you how windy it is, you can hear it blowing up in the press box. Several coaches, Division I coaches in attendance today. Part of what plays into Coach Easton's establishment of the pitch rotation to allow the kids the opportunity to move on. I don't think they're here to see the Wesleyan JV program.
I tell you, Blake Morgan, as I've seen him pitch, had the luxury of seeing him pitch before. He's a crafty little pitcher up there, and we're looking forward to a good game today. John?
1-1 count. Just got his first strike over as the left-hander deals now in. It'll be outside. A breaking ball missed for ball number 2. It's 2-1.
I'll tell you something, too. This wind will affect a lot of what you try to do on the mound. You get overthrown, just enough wind to take a little spin out of it. He's going to have to stay composed and stay within himself those strikes, and there's one for a punch-out.
Got that one. Strikeout number 1 for Blake Morgan on the mound, and that'll bring up the number 2-hole hitter for North Carolina Wesleyan, and that's Aubrey. He'll come to the box. Sophomores, he'll play second base.
Mike, is it a good day to keep on the top half of the ball, maybe a little small ball work, move around kind of away from an offensive standpoint? How's he approaching a wind-in day like this?
You know, obviously it's very rare you teach lift and loft. I think it's one of the situations where you got to stay within your approach using, the backside of the ballpark and trying to stay through the middle half of the ball, staying flat, keeping it in the zone for a long time. So Morgan's here struggling with the breaking ball. Hopefully he'll find that because, obviously that's what these coaches want to see is a lefty with a good hammer.
Now one missed outside, 1-1, 1 out so far in the top of the first inning here as this one is low inside, so 2-0. We'll make that 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1, and that's the thing. Pitching ahead in these situations, they will not hit the ball out of the park today. You can even look around the outfield, see how shallow the guys are playing. Be really difficult to try to score on anything other than a clean base hit. You're not even a tag at third is not a sure thing with the depth of the outfield and the wind behind him.
Aubrey got a piece of that one, ties up the count 2-2. Steps back into the box on the right side with a bit open stance, and he'll see the pitch from the lefty. And it's inside, just missed the corner.
Tell you what, Morgan kind of channels. I don't know if you guys remember Erickson. Was it Dennis Erickson that pitched for the Twins that went all black but carried the glove up to the bill of his hat and kind of peered through the webbing. It's kind of what Morgan makes me think of.
This one's lined foul, out of play to the right side, and stay 2-2.
Certainly modeled after an excellent pitcher there.
Yeah, not a bad one. I remember him, like I said, went all black glove, blacked everything out, kind of like Coach Easton used to say to the Pitt community guys, don't care what color your shoes are as long as they're black.
Ever the traditionalist.
That's right. Purist.
That's exactly right.
Purist.
Another one's fouled off the back of the net.
You know, the interesting thing about this ballpark, as we've seen before on other streams we've done this season, a small shift in that wind, and it drives right into the tunnel in right center field. That is this ballpark. Nice strikeout there, John.
Another strikeout. That's 2 strikeouts to start the game for Blake Morgan.
I'll tell you the thing that jumps off the page to me is we've had 2 punch-outs here for the Dogs, and we've had trouble throwing the ball around the infield both times. So I'm sure Coach Easton's hands on his hips and probably giving that look like, come on, guys, really? I mean, you're playing toss here.
We're not going to mention the names because I'm sure they'll get a double in the next several innings that we'll be talking
Well,
more
put
about.
it this way, it did make it past the shortstop.
In steps the center fielder for the battling Bishops, Daniel Taunton, and he'll see ball 1 to start.
It would have been a heck of a matchup back in the days if the Elon Fighting Christians mixed it up with the battling Bishops of North Carolina Wesleyan. That would be a holy battle there.
That time the breaking ball comes through for a strike.
I tell you what, and it goes also, we talk about the pitchers that these D1 guys are here to see, but several position players out here for Pitt Community College. The catcher Milwees had a great year, as good a receiver as there is in the area. And we'll talk about those guys and a whole lot more. We got a lot of baseball to get to.
That one is swung on and missed, so 3 batters faced in the top of the first inning. They all go down swinging. 3 strikeouts for Blake Morgan. On the mound, no score yet. Coming up on the bottom half of the inning, we want to remind you that you're watching a Pitt County Post live stream internet event.
Thinking about where to get dinner after the game tonight? Lara Beer Mexican restaurant located on 658 East Arlington Boulevard has dollar quesadillas and chalupas on Wednesdays. They're open Monday through Saturday and offer daily specials. So head there after the game and get your dollar quesadillas.
John, take it away.
First half of the first inning here from NG's Overton Field. 3 strikeouts, a good start on the mound from Blake Morgan.
Yeah, you know what, and there again, he threw strikes for the most part, didn't really have that breaking ball. Hopefully he finds that, only has probably one more inning to do so. Coach Eason will also be respective of the pitch counts, and if he doesn't get to where he wants him to go, you may see him for a third. So, we'll just see how Coach E handles that.
Excellent start for the left-hander.
Chris Sullivan will be on the mound for the battling Bishops. He's a right-hander, and he'll deliver his first pitch as a strike down the middle. Patrick Wheeler, the center fielder for the Bulldogs, will lead it off.
And you guys know me, I like to draw body comparisons like I went with Erickson earlier. This guy's kind of got the Boomer Wells body right there. He's throwing from the wrong side, but he's a right-handed boomer.
He does bring that back hip on through the big fella.
6'2", 225.
I don't believe it. He's begging already, though. I like it. And he doesn't understand with these two guys out here, this is not the crew to beg with. He's not from around here, I would gather.
Wheeler on the left side, tips this one off the bat to the left side. The shortstop catches over there. Posiello catches before it hits the ground. It's out number 1 for the Bulldogs.
You know, when that young man there, the leadoff hitter, who do we have leading off there? Wheeler made a cardinal mistake on a Tommy Eason-led team. He hits the ball, kind of a soft liner, runs halfway to the bag and not all the way through the bag. I'm sure he'll probably hear about that.
Not compliments.
Tommy Bullock, the shortstop for the Bulldogs, watches the first pitch.
The games I've seen him play, this Tommy Bullock's been a good player. A kid from Kinston has been a really good player for him this year. And nice job at second base and swung the bat well.
Hitting .339 on the season, 14 RBIs. Played in all 20 games.
I got him at shortstop today. He is a very talented ball player. Just can play anywhere. Causes a lot of disruption when he gets on the base.
And that's been one of the challenges for the Dogs this year is kind of shoring up that middle infield play, trying to get the right combination at short and second. So this is another opportunity to work on that. This is a non-conference game. In junior college baseball, there is no RPI. Junior college baseball, it is what you do inside of your conference is what matters. So this gives guys opportunities to play other positions.
This pitch is in the dirt for ball 3.
Talking about junior college baseball, John, I'm not sure if you've mentioned it yet, but the Bulldogs enjoy a number 15 national ranking in their division, and so very proud of that. And Coach Eason, of course, is downplaying and minimizing what that really means at this time, but it is a true accomplishment for his program and the young men that are in it.
Foul back off the screen as they try to get back into the postseason play, also try to get back to that National Junior College World Series. Hopefully that's really the end goal, as he mentioned in the pregame that the rankings, the nice, as you said, but trying to get back there is going to be big. This one is lined in the wind, caught a gust, and it falls into Aubrey's gloves as he crouches down to catch that one. 2 lineouts for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that ranking only means something the last day of the season. And that's I'm sure that's his thought process, and I learned obviously a lot from him, being around him in mentality. But he doesn't want these guys to rest, happy with being number 15, a quarter of the way through the season.
Sophomore catcher Daniel Milwee steps into the box, .424 average on the season on the right side. He'll watch a ball high.
Super, super strong foundation at this club. This man is right here, number 3.
He's as good a catcher, and I've been watching Pitt Community College baseball for a lot of years now. He's as good a catcher as this program's ever had. and that's paying high praises as a lot of guys that have played that position and playing for a former catcher in Tommy Easton. They've gone on to great things. Milwaukee's just a stitch better, just misses that one.
And it's high into center
Could be
field.
trouble. Fun.
Totten's out there, gets under it with the win, catches it above his head. That's out number 3. Bulldogs go 3 up, 3 down in the bottom half of the first inning. No score yet from NG's Overton Field. You're listening to Pitt County Baseball on Pitt County Post live stream on the website.
All right, a little bit about North Carolina Wesleyan College. They are a 4-year private school in Rocky Mountain, North Carolina. They offer undergraduate programs leading to Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees. They have about 1,500 students, and the school is affiliated with the United Methodist Church. Their campus is about a 1-hour drive east of Raleigh, North Carolina, and about a 2-hour drive south of Richmond, Virginia. They also offer evening courses at its main campus in Rocky Mount, but they also have available classes in Morrisville, Goldsboro, Greenville, North Carolina, Whiteville, North Carolina, Washington, and Wilmington. The college is accredited by the Commission on Colleges of the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. And our Pitt County Bulldogs are playing the North Carolina Wesleyan JV baseball team, not the varsity. All right. And now we are about to go back live with Jay and the boys.
Sorry about that. I forgot to turn my mic up. That's the first mistake I make today. It's actually not, but first one y'all know about. We're here back heading into the top of the second inning. Give it back to John to get us going. John?
Quick start to this one. Both teams go 3 up, 3 down. And pitching, you're going to see a lot of it. But so far, both guys have looked pretty sharp on the mound.
Yeah, you know what? And as I kind of peruse this, the Battling Bishops roster here, they have kids from all over the place. Very few kids from that greater Nash County area. You've got kids on this roster from Myrtle Beach. Several kids from Virginia. And what's critical to know about that is Division III baseball, Division III athletics do not provide scholarships. So these are true student athletes that play for the love of the game, and there's a hell of a lot to be said for that.
No doubt about that.
The shortstop for the Battling Bishops, Trey Posiero, comes up to bat in the 4-hole. On the season, the freshman is an infielder and has not had a hit yet this season with the varsity squad. JV team 7-2 on the season.
You know what that tells you about a guy like Trey? He's due to get a hit.
Watches this one, chops it up the middle, couple bounces. Shortstop picks it up over there, fires across the diamond. Bullock over to Camarada at first base. That's out number 1 to start the second inning.
You know, we were talking about really good players for these Pitt Community College Bulldogs, and we can't have that conversation without talking about number 27 over at first base. Camarada is a physical specimen and a fantastic player. I think it's kind of a misconception in junior college baseball is that kids that are here that choose to be here are academic casualties, and that's not the case. Coach Easton's philosophy has never been to bring those kids in, although there have been some second-chance kids. There was that breaking ball they've been looking for from Morgan.
As the wind blows straight in, Johnny Mack, it's blowing straight in.
Right at the batter in an 0-2 count. He'll see the third pitch. Breaking ball on the outside corner, just misses. 1-2. Kevin Berry at the plate, the left fielder for North Carolina Wesleyan JV. The 1-2 pitch from Morgan is across the plate and fouled back over the press box.
Keeping that bat alive, Mike.
You know what? I think it also merits saying that just because this team carries the JV monikers, a lot of these kids will split time with the varsity squad, and this gives them a chance to get these underclassmen some extra ABs against really quality arms. And quite frankly, the arms that they'll see facing these Bulldogs will be as good as anything they'll see all year. So you get a chance to really gauge what you've got and find out what the cut is and what gets you to the next level. And Wesley's had tremendous success for a lot of years, having won a national title sometime back.
Another 1-2, and it's a strikeout this time as swinging through the pitch is Barry, and a fourth strikeout recorded for Blake Morgan through facing just 5 hitters.
John, let me quickly put in here, as well as Blake Morgan is taking care of batters, let me give a promo for this weekend. We got Catawba Valley coming to town. We'll be broadcasting the doubleheader beginning at 1, like a 12:50 start. We'll be putting that all out. But the 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock game on Saturday and the 1 o'clock game on Sunday. Catawba Valley, an excellent, excellent school.
Zach Byers, the DH for today. The Battling Bishops, the strike number 1.
We saw 2 really good things on that sequence with the last hitter, and we saw the breaking ball come to life, and more importantly, we saw the infield get the throw around all the way back to the pitcher. So it was a little bit tentative. I don't know if they were told if you can't do it, just throw it back to the pitcher, but they did manage to get it around with only 1 jumping catch.
Byers watches this one. It's a strike. This could be Blake Morgan's last hitter that he faces, as they want to use a lot of the bullpen arms scheduled for 2 innings. As well as he's pitching, do you expect him to see some more time today?
Well, they got some guys in the pen, and there again, in this situation, you're not necessarily seeing bullpen depth. You could be seeing your weekend rotation get their work in against live competition, which is more likely the case. There again, Morgan's shown us 1 good breaking ball and 4 or 5 not very good ones, and I know that's something he wants to work through, and I'm sure he'll beg for another inning.
And there's a straight fastball for a strikeout, and it's Morgan's 5th strikeout. If that is his last hitter, it's 5 strikeouts and a ground out in his 2 innings of work. No errors, no runs given up for the Bulldogs. And with the score still tied 0-0 heading into the bottom of the second, we want to remind you that you're watching a Pitt County Post live stream internet event.
All right, our live stream for today's game is brought to you in part by Pip Printing of Greenville, a full-service agency providing a turnkey operation for all of your signage, printing, or other marketing needs. Whether you need assistance from just an idea that you have, or if you know exactly what you want, Pip Printing is your partner in effectively communicating your message. They will gladly visit your business to make sure that all potential signage meets your specifications. There are no geographical constraints. Pip Printing can do business with anyone, anywhere. Visit their website at pip.com, that's PIP.com, to learn more about this multi-generation business with deep connections in Eastern North Carolina. Or you can call them at 252-355-1636. Pip Printing makes copying the highest form of flattery. And now we're going to go back live to John, Jay, and Mike.
It'll be 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the second inning. In the first, 2 lineouts and a pop out to center. And now coming up in the 4-hole, the first baseman, Camarada.
You know, Jay, and you asked me earlier about trying to dominate the top half or whatever the thought processes may be here. I can tell you that what they need to do, or what they've been taught to do, is look for pitches a little further down out of the zone. And I think the big righty from Wesleyan has probably made the change to the elements the other way, trying to pitch the top half of the zone. It's going to be tough to get a ball out of the park here today.
Chris Sullivan delivers. Camarada taps it up into the air. It's a high fly ball. Second baseman Aubrey trying to track it down, and he will, just outside of the first base bag. The wind blew that one all around in the infield.
And that's a prime example. He swung at that ball at the top half of the zone. If you're going to do that all day, expect a ton of fly balls. Although no fly ball is routine today, you'll get a chance to see a lot of them if the Dogs keep hacking at top half.
Drew Piskorik coming up, the DH for the Bulldogs today. .333 average on the season, 16 RBIs. He's played in 17 of the 20 games. He'll hit from the right side, and he'll hit this one in the right field. It's a liner running away from the right fielder. Mills finally tracks it down on the line, and he'll cut it off from the wall, but it's a base hit for the Bulldogs. First hit of the day. Piskorik gets on base.
Good to see. Go ahead, John. Jay, I'm sorry.
No, Luckable going backside. Talk, Mike.
Well, it's good to see him back in the lineup. He's been out since midweek with Lewisburg 2 weeks ago with a jammed shoulder. So I don't know if he can quite throw yet, but feeling good enough to swing the bat.
That'll bring up Drew Pickard. First time that the righty Chris Sullivan of the Battling Bishops on the mound will have to pitch with a runner on base, as getting his lead over at first is Piskorik. And at the plate now, Drew Pickard watches strike number 1.
John, let me correct you on that. It's Mason Picard. Unique thing about Mason, I want to make sure you get his name is Mason is a native of Australia, and his family regularly tunes into the stream. And if they're the way the time zone differences are, maybe in the middle of the evening for them or night, but he's a shortstop, second baseman, middle infielder. Coach Easton very proud of the recruitment of him, and just want to say hello to his family because they always send their greetings to us over the website, and we just want to acknowledge that.
Pretty cool to sit back and have maybe a Foster's and watch your maybe an Old Can and watch your boy play baseball in the U.S. Via the Pitt County Post stream. So that's a awesome thing, and shout out to the Bulldogs down in the land down under.
1-2 count, 1 out in the bottom half of the second. This one's grounded to third. He'll flip it over to the second baseman, and it's a throwing error. Goes into right field as White had that one slip out of his hand as he threw it. Aubrey couldn't handle it at second base, and it'll be 2 runners on for the Bulldogs and an error on the battling Bishops.
You know, and in baseball, walks and errors kill you. And, you kind of expect when you're watching a JV team from the Division III level to see them throw it around a little bit, and it's no knock on them. A lot of it is getting acclimated to the college game. The speed of the game increases no matter what level of college baseball you're at. So there's a break for the Dogs to see if we can capitalize on it. 2
runners on. First pitch is outside to Belcher, third baseman for the Bulldogs, hitting from the left side.
I'm not so sure the big righty's not mixing in some type of knuckleball or something. Whatever he just threw had a little dance.
Comes in on the outside corner for strike number 1, 1-1.
It's definitely something, and he's got the wind at his back. So I mean, you would think that would jump the fastball a little bit, but he's doing something a little different up there, trying to keep the Dogs fooled here.
Byron Belcher watches this one outside, 2-1.
Yeah, and that's something you don't work on very often. Hey, look, guys, we're going to get in the cage and work on this knuckleball guy. He's 6'2", 225, but we're going to work off speed all day. That's something you really don't see often. He's kind of like a 5'4" lefty right now.
And the outside corner hits 2-2.
If he's going to get that call all day long is where I'd stay. I tell you what, that's 2 inches off the plate. Mr. Kennedy, come on now.
Well, and that's what you get.
Piskorek on second, Pickard on first for the Bulldogs.
What we got there, Mike?
We got a ball. We're calling a balk on him?
Getting Mr. Clinton's recommendation on that, and I guess they decided to let that one pass.
Well, did he check him? I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen that. Hey, Joe, did you get a balk out there? I'm not real sure what we had there.
2-2 pitch is swung on and missed on the outside corner of the plate. Strikeout for Belcher as Sullivan sits him down. That'll bring up Reese Farmer, the freshman outfielder.
Reese has a unique pedigree. His father, of course, a former professional basketball player from Aiden Sean Farmer. Sean's normally in attendance. I don't know exactly what's going on this afternoon, but Reese is a very talented athlete, speed guy, just all-around quality ball player.
Another good-looking player.
We'll see a ball on the inside corner. 2 outs now for the Bulldogs, 2 runners on in the bottom of the second.
Really need to take advantage of the opportunity given here by the Bishops. I know Coach E's thinking the same thing.
There's strike number 1 for Farmer at the plate. Even it up at 1-1.
There's the wind, and if I know you can't probably see it on the stream, but it's blowing pretty good. Had the big right-hander there show some semblance of an inside move, or actually a quick spin move. So maybe he just wants to stick with getting the hitter with the wind blowing like it is.
Sullivan getting a deep lead at second. Sullivan pitches instead, and then chopped over to the shortstop coming in, and he won't get the throw over there in time as Whitmer catches at first. Farmer is already past the bag, and the bases are loaded for the Bulldogs.
Hustle, hustle, hustle. That's what that was.
Well, and that goes back to what you said. That's a good athlete running the bases. And, as soon as that ball hits, you really have no chance. That's almost you kind of taught or teach to maybe full-on fake and look at a backside base for an out because there was no way they were going to get the speedy Farmer down at first.
Number 9 hole hitter in a big spot, Braxton Green, the right fielder for the Bulldogs, comes up with the bases loaded. He'll see strike number 1, 0-1. With 2 outs and the bases loaded.
Yeah, Sullivan's living there belt high. He wouldn't do that if the wind was blowing out, but he's doing a good job of pitching the park if it's not a mistake.
Flags blowing straight in at the hitter still, and it's strike number 2 for Sullivan.
better be ready to swing when you step into the box today.
This is a guy that we call he's in a rocking chair. When he throws it, he's getting it back, he's throwing it again. He's moving it up there as quickly as he can.
That's 0-2 is outside for ball one. Maybe tried to get him to chase a little bit there.
That's the old adage, just because it hit the catcher in the mitt doesn't mean it's a strike. He was set up in the left-handed batter's box.
Sullivan, the 1-2, and it's across the plate. This one's chopped over to first base. Whitmore picks it up, takes a couple steps. Jogs over to first, taps it on base. Bulldogs leave 3 on base after an error from the battling Bishops. No score yet. It's 0-0 heading to the third inning. We want to remind you that you're watching a Pitt County Post live stream internet event.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is a one-stop shop for the modern car buying experience. Visit their website at greenvilleautoworld.net to see their inventory, specials, and other information on how Greenville Auto World gets you exactly the vehicle you want, color, style, or price. Or visit their spacious and beautiful dealership at 3840 South Charles Boulevard. They're open Monday to Friday, 9 to 6, and 9 to 6 on Saturdays. In helping people through what has become a requirement of life, Greenville Auto World prides itself on making each customer's needs their top priority.
At Greenville Auto World, big changes are taking place.
And now those changes are finally complete.
Greenville Auto World's long-awaited expansion features a new state-of-the-art repair facility that's larger than ever. With a spacious showroom and increased staff, every aspect of our new building was planned with greater customer experience in mind. No hassles, no frustrations, just top-notch care and the cleanest cars, trucks, and SUVs in the area.
To have your great customer experience, visit us in person or on the web at greenvilleautoworld.net.
At Greenville Auto World, big changes are taking place.
And now those changes are finally complete.
Ryan Thompson, the big right-hander, sophomore out of Jacksonville, North Carolina, comes in. John, take it over, buddy.
That's Ryan Thompson, as you mentioned, and ending the day on the mound for the Bulldogs is Morgan, and he goes 2 innings, strikes out 5, and gets a ground out. Didn't give up a hit or a walk or a run in that, so a strong 2 outings there. But now we move into the bullpen. See a lot of shuffling arms, most likely, in the next 6 or 7 innings.
Yeah, pretty efficient outing there by Morgan. Not his best stuff, just enough to get these guys out. And I don't know that was the electric outing he probably dreamed of, but it's definitely one that gets him ready for the weekend.
I tell you, we got a 9-inning game today, so it'll be fun to watch the arms.
Thompson's first pitch is a ball outside, and he'll face the number 7 hole hitter for the battling Bishops, and that's Heisey, as he'll come to the plate. Watch ball 2, 2-0.
Yeah, this is a little more of a straight overhand kind of motion and delivery. You would think there's a pretty good breaking ball in there somewhere.
This one's into the right center gap and trying to track it down. Wheeler and Green. Green's going to grab it at the wall after it bounces off once, and Heisey's going to roll into second base standing up. It's a leadoff double to start off the top of the third for the battling Bishops.
The big catcher handling the bat nicely.
I'll tell you what, I was kind of surprised he legged that into a double. I think if we come up clean out in right center, we'd probably hold him to a big turn single. Be interested to see if we if the Bishops here decide to play a little small ball early. Doesn't like a lot of signs from the coach, but, you never know.
Jermaine White will come into the box, 8-hole hitter, and the first baseman for the battling Bishops. Runner on second, and he will square around. Pitcher's going to come up, pick it up, and he'll just throw it over to first. Didn't check third, as rolling into third is Heisey, and the sacrifice bunt for the battling Bishops works as White lays it down.
How about that?
Yeah, and not surprised. I mean, you're in the bottom of the lineup, and one of those situations. I didn't see it called. It might have been a decision made by the hitter. Not exactly the best bunt, but it got the job done. Maybe it surprised everybody.
Whitmore comes into the batter's box. Runner on third, 1 out for the Bishops in the top of the third. We'll see ball number 1.
Got an interesting note last night from old friend L.A. McDonald talking about Chase down at spring training. Of course, the professional ball player from Greenville, Chase McDonald. We still claim him. He lives in the western part of the state on a full-time basis now when he's not playing baseball. But He's down in spring training. Supposed to, with a crossed finger, maybe get an at-bat in the big league spring training game today. We was real excited and just want to mention that.
Really excited for Chase. I had that kid growing up, Jay, since he was
Awesome.
10 years old. I remember when the thing that would motivate him the most was a Snicker bar and a Dr. Pepper.
Base hit through the right side gap. Whitmore knocks in the run. Heisey comes around to score after the leadoff double, and the Battling Bishops get on the board first.
Well, folks, that's how you draw it up. Get them on, get them over, get them in, and that's exactly what you saw there, unfortunately, for the Dogs. But a lot of baseball left. I don't know if that was a great piece of hitting or if the ball just beat his bat, but that was kind of a C&I dog through the right side.
David Whitmore gets on, and that'll turn the order back up to the top. The leadoff hitter, Mills, steps into the box. Luke Mills, a freshman from Rocky Mount, North Carolina, sees strike one.
Yeah, stepped in the box, and then first swing stepped in the bucket. Looks like maybe vulnerable on the outer half of the plate. We'll see what they decide to do with him here.
Struck out swinging in his first at-bat. And this one fouls it off over top of the press box. Strike number 2, 0-2 count.
Well, if they see the same thing you're seeing, Mully, they'll stay on the outside, maybe a couple inches off where Mr. Kennedy's been given that strike early today.
I bet you'll see a couple pitches out there here. You know, rule of thumb, extended a ball here, maybe 2 balls, and then try to come back in.
Pitch is swung on right back to the
nice.
pitcher. Fields
PFP.
it, throws it to the shortstop. Bullock it over to first, and the Pitt Camarado comes up with it. And it's a 1-6-3 double play to end the inning for the Bulldogs.
That's called getting away with one. That was
Nifty.
way too good of a pitch with no balls and 2 strikes.
1 run, no errors, no runners left on base for the Battling Bishops, and it's 1-0. Battling Bishops in the lead over the Bulldogs heading into the bottom of the 3rd inning.
All right, folks, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Patrick Wheeler. He's the center fielder for the Bulldogs. He's from Holly Springs, North Carolina, and he's a freshman. He went to Holly Springs High School. He said his favorite MLB team is the Red Sox, and his favorite player is Bryce Harper. We said if you could have any specific quality of any current or past baseball player, who and what would it be? And he said Pete Rose's grit. He wants to improve his speed the most in his game, and his plans after Pitt are to transfer and to keep playing baseball. We said, what other skills do you have other than baseball? He said he can cook minute rice in 58 seconds. His pregame or postgame ritual includes listening to Miley Cyrus's album from beginning to end. Artists that are a must listen before a game include Miley Cyrus, Post Malone, and Justin Bieber. He said, we asked if he has any superstitions. He said before every inning in the field, he takes his hat off and reads what he wrote on the inside of the bill. We said, what's something about yourself that most people don't know that you would like people to know? He said, I have yet to find my birthmark. Swear I've looked everywhere. We said, is there anyone in his family that played or currently plays sports at the college level or higher? And he said his sister, Ashley, plays softball at Campbell. All right, and now we're going to head back to the live stream with Jay, Mike, and John.
Bottom of the 3rd here, score 1-0. Kelly, thank you. We really thank the players for giving us their bios. We handed out some stuff. They really gave us some fun stuff back to them about their histories, and we've enjoyed doing that. And I have many people commenting around town and, of course, over the comment section of the website about how much they enjoy that information. John?
Chris Sullivan back out on the mound, the starter for the Bulldogs, facing back at the top of the lineup, Patrick Wheeler for the Bulldogs.
Pretty simple to see what Sullivan wants to do with lefties, and it looks like he sets them up in to go away. So I would be willing to bet we've seen 1 pitch out, 1 pitch in, and I'd be willing to bet you the next one's going to be out back in the right-hand batter's box.
We have a 1-1 count here, and the first batter of the bottom of the 3rd for Pitt Community College, and it's back outside for a ball.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a bunch of that from him. It's pitch in for effect, pitch away for outs, and Coach wants to see him stay on it and go the other way, use the whole ballpark.
Sullivan's pitch is turned back to the second baseman. Aubrey fields it. And over to first. Whitmore catches as digging down the line was Wheeler, but not in time, and it's a ground out.
That's the thing that frustrates you so much as a coach is you've taught this approach day after day that when we see a guy that's staying away from a soft thrower, we have to go the other way with him. You've seen him do it to other left-handers, and we still roll ground balls over on the infield. That's one of the things that will drive you crazy.
Tommy Bullock, the shortstop for the Bulldogs, lined out to second base in his first at-bat. See strike 1 to start his second.
Shows that bunt. I don't know how convicted he was to it. It might have been enough just to move the infielders around.
It's an off-speed pitch in for strike 2.
Yeah, it's so important that you maintain your composure at the plate and see what's happening around you and handle your hands properly, Mike. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, and we're kind of hitting in his rhythm. He's a quick-to-pitch guy. As a coach, you love to see it if he's pitching for you. I mean, just keep it moving. But these guys have to break him up a little bit and making him look a little bit like Nolan Ryan right now.
And this one's lined into right center. Wynn's taking it over to right field and tracking it down as Mills in right field. That Wynn helped him out on that play.
Yeah, that's pitch in the park. That's part of it, Wynn can hurt you and Wynn can help you, and that was one of the examples of the latter. So got to keep battling.
It looked fairly routine, but that with the ball curving, the wind, and the sun, that was a nice play by the right fielder.
Mills out there and right with the catch. Sullivan on the mound will face Daniel Milwee. Milwee popped out to center field.
Milwee don't leave anything in the dugout, does he?
And that's the thing, though, Jay. He takes a hack like that, and you're not going to drive the ball out of the park today, most likely. Take that same hack constructively to the right side of the field.
Excellent point.
This one is fouled off. Back behind us. 0-2 count now for Daniel Milwee. We'll see what Chris Sullivan brings.
I'm going to bet you it's going to be something away.
Defense playing straight up for North Carolina Wesleyan. And the 0-2 pitch is outside, laid off, 1-2.
And, he doesn't want to go in here because he's up in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. You take a chance of hitting him.
And here's the 1-2 inside, and it's lined down the third base line, and Barry will try to track it down. Rounding first is Milwee, and he'll run into second standing up. Barry picks it up in the corner and will throw it back in, but it's a 2-out double for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was the hit me hanging breaking ball, and he did a good job of staying with that pitch and get something he can pull, and it's seeing it, allowing that 2-strike pitch to travel a little bit and a little better. It's always easy to say that when they're standing on second base.
Now coming up to bat is Dominique Camarada.
See if he can get a pitch selection he likes, hands up, and get something above the ball.
I guarantee it's going to be away. Here we go.
Team high 22 RBIs on the season, looking for 23 with 2 outs, so watch ball 1.
Now you may see Sullivan try to get back in just to show it, and then it's going to be pitching away to get him out for sure.
Big gap on the right side as Aubrey, the second baseman, trying to keep the runner close, and this one's inside, ball 2.
2-0, normally is opportunity to get a good one off, but on days like today, you just have to take what you're being given, trust the aluminum bat, and move the barrel to the baseball.
Milwee has some speed over there as Sullivan checks him. Now he'll come home, and it's a ball high 3-0.
3-0. Hey, straight take, you suppose?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. First base open, maybe thinking he'd rather pitch to Pascourt on deck. Probably not going to see a whole lot to hit here. We're not the only ones that knows he's a good player.
Here's the 3-0 down the middle, 3-1.
Probably expect some action here one way or the other. That's kind of the old base hit ball forward. I like to see a good approach, and Dominic put a good swing on it.
Said he had the team high with 22 RBIs. Also leads the team with 19 walks. And here's number 20 as the ball is at low and away as he'll trot down to first, and there'll be 2 runners on with 2 outs for the Bulldogs.
Just to reintroduce everyone to our broadcast team, John McCormick doing the play-by-play, Mike Mullison, myself, Jay Dupree adding the color. We are in the bottom half of the third, 1-0.
Drew Piskorek, the DH, singled in his first at-bat in the second. Now has 2 runners on.
Probably nobody better on this team to hit the ball the other way than Drew Piskorek.
There's a chance here he'll do just that. Drop it in to the right side, but it floats out foul.
Very talented ball player with the bat.
And that's all a testament his thought process, his approach at the plate, a large part in due to, his father was a great player, played at Duke. And is a coach now over at Oakwood, but also he played for Coach Peanut Langston over at South Central, who was a ardent supporter of hitting, of staying on the ball and hitting it the other way.
Long time teacher of young men in this county, Peanut Langston, excellent reputation, great teacher of the game and of life.
And now he's teaching kids in a private way, doing some private instruction. So
it just swung on to third base. White picks it up, and he'll tag his bag with the force out there. So 2 runners left on base for Pitt Community College. No runs in the bottom of the third. North Carolina Wesleyan, the Battling Bishops, score first in the third. They lead 1-0. Heading into the fourth, we want to remind you that you are watching a Pitt County Post live stream internet event.
All right, folks, we're going to finish up the interview we had with Patrick Wheeler. We said if you had to pick another skill other than baseball to master, what would it be? He said it would be golf. And he said, how do they hit that tiny ball straight for 300-plus yards? The best player he's ever played with or against, he said he stood in one of Carlos Rodden's bullpens in high school. He said, I don't know if that counts, but it was the scariest 15 minutes of my life. His hobbies include watching Netflix. We said, what do you like to do when you aren't playing baseball? He said he likes to watch baseball, think about baseball, and listen to baseball. And then we said, is there anything else you'd like to add? He said, I'd like to add, Mama, if you're watching, please send money. Love ya. And now we're gonna do a shout out to our sponsor, Lar Beer Mexican Restaurant. They're located at 658 Arlington Boulevard. They're a very unique eatery with a seating capacity of 180 and an additional private area for company meetings, large groups, or church organizations. All right, and now we're going to head back to Jay, Mike, and John. Thank you.
Top of the fourth, Pitt Community College, North Carolina Wesleyan JV. We do thank all of our sponsors. We could not make it without you guys. We ask you if you're interested in advertising with us, please reach out to us. We try to make sure that we service your needs in any way. But thank you so much for those folks who have began with us. We're a new project, and we really appreciate your trust in us and faith. John?
Ryan Thompson has gone an inning, and he'll come out. Replacing him out on the mound is the new pitcher, Medlin. And that's Mason Medlin, the freshman, 5'11", 170 pounds, from Clayton, North Carolina, and Clayton High School. His first pitch is inside for ball 1. And second is swung on for strike 1.
Can either one of you tell me the guy that's in the big leagues that pitched at Clayton High School? I'll give you a clue. He plays.
Archer.
There you go. Man didn't even need a clue.
I'm a Johnson County homeboy.
There you go.
Yeah, very proud of that young man. What a talent. And he's a team guy, too. I mean a team ball player as a pitcher.
Tell you what, he's a good one.
Medlin has pitched part of an inning this year, 1 appearance, given up a hit, no runs. So far, no walks, no strikeouts, as he'll have a 2-2 count. And Milwee wants to go on and talk with him. Think about that as a catcher, too. You have 3 pitchers so far in the 4th inning, a lot of different signs, a lot of different things that you have to work with there.
Well, you only have 5 fingers, and they should pretty well be accustomed to it at this point. It's not the first time they played together. It's an interesting time to make a trip, and you may be right, Jay. You may have crossed them up.
Here's Medlin. The 2-2 is inside. 3-2. That'll run the count full as Chris Aubrey at the plate. Struck out in his first at-bat in the first inning.
A little different look here. The wind is laid down. We're not in the middle of a gust right this second.
As Aubrey lifts this one out to left field, getting under it is Farmer, and he'll make the catch for out number 1, excuse me.
Milwee is just the type of catcher you want to have looking after a staff for a day like today.
Tell you what, I would when his time's done here, I certainly would love to see him across town. I'd love to keep watching him play. He is a very good player and has been a lot of fun to watch this year.
You know, you don't get the coaches to ever talk about it too much, but Coach Easton and Coach Godwin, longtime friends.
Daniel Totten lifts this one out to center field, trying to track it down is Wheeler, and he'll make that catch out in left center field, out number 2 in the top of the 4th.
It's really good, though, when the two college coaches in town have good working knowledge of each other, talk to one another and discuss some things.
Yeah, you know, both Greene County guys. Obviously, Coach Easton coached Coach Godwin.
Sure.
In his time. Yeah, recruited him in his time over at East Carolina. And, you know, that's got to help to cultivate a great relationship. And this is a great situation for a young man coming to play college baseball and pursue his academic career.
Trey Posiero grounded out to shortstop in his first at-bat. Comes in from the right side. The shortstop. See strike number 1, 1-1.
Tell you what, Jaden, you said something on the in the break coming back in, and I wanted to get it in before now, but what you guys are doing here with the Pitt County Post is awesome, and kind of appealing to the people out there. It's a great opportunity to see what would they like to see. That's a great play.
Over to the left side, Bullock picks it up, and he'll throw it to first base, wide right, but Milwee there to pick it up behind the bag, making sure that Posero doesn't take an extra bag there. And it's a leadoff hit.
Yeah, I want to remind everybody we will be streaming dirt track racing. We're negotiating on many other events. We're looking to get into the schools with some opportunities there. We're really excited about our live stream. We hope you'll check out our website on a daily basis for all your local news needs, pittcountypost.com. Thank you very much for doing that. We appreciate it.
Medlin pitches out of the stretch now, and this one is out to left field trying to get there. Won't in time is Farmer, and it's another base hit for Kevin Berry. Back-to-back hits for the Battling Bishops with 2 outs, 2 runners on. They lead 1-0 so far in the top of the 4th.
Trouble brewing, 2 outs, though.
Yeah, it always makes you feel a little better, but sometimes that third one can be so hard to get. It looks like the catcher's on deck, too, and that's the guy he's swinging a hot bat there. Hit a ball good last time, so critical out at the plate.
Zach Byer steps in for the Battling Bishops, who left a couple runners on last inning. He'll swing through this one for strike number 1. Bulldogs turn to double play to get out of that inning. See what they can do with 2 outs here.
Up early in the count, pitching early, throwing strikes, or throwing strikes early, it all makes a huge difference. As I say that, he throws a ball, but that's also the name of the game. And I don't know if you guys can zoom in here. I don't know. The on-deck guy's got some interesting he's doing the bat flip thing. I don't know if he'll show it to us again, but that was kind of cool.
The 1-1 pitch from Medlin is called a ball as Milwee maybe has it tapped off his wrist. Keeps it in front of him.
Milwee, we didn't mention it, but the play that Milwee makes down there backing up the throw behind first base is something that doesn't show up in the box score, but is one of those intangibles that coaches love to see.
Pitch misses outside, 3-1 count now for Medlin on the mound. Third pitcher the Bulldogs have used so far in this one. Run into a little bit of trouble after getting the first 2 outs, back-to-back base hits for the Battling Bishops.
I would venture to say if we get ball forward, never mind. I was going to say if a ball in the gap moves either one of the outfielders and you can read their numbers, is kind of the rule of thumb. If you read their numbers, it would have been interesting to see if the coach would have sent them, but all for naught. That was ball 4.
Bases loaded. Catcher with the nice backside hit last time up.
That's Heisey at the plate. Bases loaded for Christian Heisey, the junior from Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Got the best bat flip on the team. That was pretty cool. YouTube worthy.
Medlin's first pitch is inside in the dirt. Milwee goes down to a shin guard to block it. Bases loaded for Christian Heisey.
You would say bad guys everywhere, but can you call the Battling Bishops bad guys? I don't think there's something there.
Outside, 2-0.
I think my favorite one when bases are loaded is when you get the bases are drunk, but bases are loaded.
All inning guys, we've been talking about Milwee behind the plate. Do we have new meat back there, John? Have we've been not crediting a proper fellow for hustling?
Let's see here.
Caleb Beatty, is he checked in for Milwee? I don't know. We don't get absolutely all of the
still have
changes.
Milwee in the book. Let's see once we get a number. This one's grounded over to third, though. Heisey hits it to third. Picking it up is Belcher. He'll throw it across the diamond to Camarati for out number 3. And the Bulldogs get out of another jam. 3 runners left on base after a pair of hits from the Battling Bishops and a walk. No errors from the Bulldogs in that one. It's 1-0. The Battling Bishops in the lead heading into the bottom of the 4th inning on PittCountyPost.com.
All right, this broadcast is brought to you by PittCountyPost.com. We have more broadcasts this weekend. There's a doubleheader on Saturday. The game's first pitch is at 1 and at 4. We will be going live with a pregame show at 12:50 and at 3:50. Sometimes the second game starts early, so be on your toes and ready for that. The game on Sunday starts at 1, so we'll be going live at 12:50. Every week we're doing Players of the Week. So we'll do a short interview with those and show those on here sometimes, and you also will be able to find them on the Facebook. Past 2 weeks have been some spring breaks for a lot of the students. So we've been a little behind on that, but expect that in the future and especially this weekend. We want to thank you for tuning in with our live broadcast, and now you can go back on to pittcountypost.com and watch the past broadcasts if you missed them.
Welcome back. Bottom of the fourth. Pitt Community College versus North Carolina Wesleyan JV. 1-0. John, get us started.
We'll have the 6, 7, 8 hitters coming up for the Bulldogs, who have 4 hits so far, yet to scratch across a run. They trail 1-0.
A little bit of a different approach here by the coaching staff of the Bishops. Whereas the Bulldogs are going to Johnny Holstaff, Simmons has been in the game the whole time.
And that'll be Pickard, who lays down the bunt, and just in the nick of time, getting the throw over there are the battling Bishops as Whitmer catches in front of Pickard's foot. There, it's out number 1.
And I'm sorry, I said Simmons. It's Sullivan. Sullivan's been there the whole way. Don't look like there's any action in the bullpen. Don't know that the JV squad from Wesleyan's traveling a full squad today, so it may be his game.
Coach Clark, prior to the game, talked about a few pitchers today, so we'll see how it ends up playing out.
Byron Belcher is.
How about the big
puts
fella?
The ball in play.
Twinkle toes there, Coach Moss with PFP.
He is quite the athlete. Quite the athlete.
Nice play all the way around. Nice. You mentioned it earlier, Coach Moss. It is important and so material to the success of a baseball team. The routine play needs to be made, and that is a routine play. It is not the normal, but it is a routine play that has to be made.
That's something you do every day as PFPs, pitchers, field, and practice, and that's something you work on, if not every day, most days, and it's because that's the kind of thing that'll cost you a ball game.
Reese Farmer sees strike number 1, singled in the second inning. And we'll chop this one foul down out of play on the third base side, 0-2.
Tell you what, Sullivan has kept the boys off balance, largely through a mixture of slow, and slower, and just kind of moving it in and out. He's been borderline dominant.
This one escapes to the outside for ball number 1, 1-2. 2 outs, bottom of the fourth.
Kind of makes you wonder, like I'm sorry to cut you off, kind of makes you wonder like the Bull Durham line. Is that the spitball, the Vaseline ball? Is it?
And there's
highway ribbery.
Wow.
Second strikeout is recorded
Coach Eason's
for Chris Sullivan. As Reese Farmer goes down looking, it's 1-2-3. Battling Bishops. Put them up and take them right down, and they'll come back up to bat in the top of the 5th inning. 1-0 so far. Battling Bishops in the lead on Pitt County Post.
Our live stream for today's game is brought to you in part by Pitt Printing of Greenville. They're a full-service agency providing a turnkey operation for all of your signage, printing, or other marketing needs. Whether you need assistance from just an idea that you have, or if you know exactly what you want, Pitt Printing is your partner in effectively communicating your message. They will gladly visit your business to make sure that all potential signage meets your specifications. There are no geographical constraints. Pitt Printing can do business with anyone, anywhere. You can visit their website at pip.com to learn more about this multi-generation business with deep connections in Eastern North Carolina, or call them at 252-355-1636. Pitt Printing makes copying the highest form of flattery. And now we're going to go back live with John, Jay, and Mike.
Good afternoon, folks. Top half of the 5th inning, 1-0 Pitt. The North Carolina Wesleyan JV team up on Pitt Community College. New pitcher, John, introduce us.
Walker Jones, 6'4", 220 pounds. New Bern, North Carolina is his hometown West Craven High School. As the freshman takes on the mound, 4th pitcher we've seen from Pitt Community College.
You know what, I take back what I said earlier. I think Coach Easton has given some guys out of the bullpen that maybe haven't seen as many innings this year a chance to get out there, which is, what makes you better. It creates depth in your bullpen and for your team. I can assure you that the conference or the conversation that Coach Eason had in the dugout between innings probably had nothing to do with what was for dinner tonight. There was probably a little effort at some external motivation. So hopefully we'll see the Bulldogs pick it up and at least have a better offensive approach their next time to the plate.
Freshman has 1 appearance, 1 inning pitched. He gave up 5 hits and 3 runs, all of them earned, struck out 2 in his first appearance of the season. And his second is started off with a foul ball chopped down the first side, 0-1 count.
You know, one of the strengths of this Pitt Community College baseball team has been their starting pitching. They've done a nice job this year. Not sure exactly where their numbers stand, but they've been very competitive, kept the team in games. And, you know, there again, when you have a very competent front end playing a lot of doubleheaders that are 7 innings, you don't necessarily find out about the depth of your pen until you have situations like this.
Jermaine White at the plate for the battling Bishops. Laid down a bunt in his first at-bat to move a runner over. He finds himself in an 0-2 count.
As is always the case, Coach Easton had a plan with his staff today, choreographed, and he's sticking to it.
And a breaking ball on the inner half is in for ball 1.
You know, when you lay those plans out, the only reason you deviate is because you're forced to, and typically that's not a good thing. So I think that that part of the game is held up. I'm sure you would like to see a little better offensive approach.
Pitch is swung on from the hitter Heisey, and it'll be a strikeout for Jones to start off his appearance on the mound.
You know, we were mentioning between innings, and Jay, you had mentioned coming out of the end of the last half inning, it looks like there has been a change behind the plate. Tyler Beatty back there, you know, we get so comfortable and used to seeing Mill. We hope he's out just to get a little rest, and there's nothing wrong.
This one is chopped to the right side. Killing it out of play is the new catcher, Caleb Beatty.
Well, there's that wind. It's back. We had a little reprieve there for just a brief period of time, but I tell you what, I'd hate to be the cameraman wearing shorts standing in front of an open window right now.
Young and vigorous, he's okay. The old man behind him's about to cringe, though, and he's got a hoodie on.
The 0-1 is lined back up the middle. Tracking it down on the right side is Willer. It'll drop down in front of him for a base hit in the top of the 5th.
Tell you what, though, Jay, you know, one thing synonymous with baseball is ballpark food, and there's no shortage of it up here at Minji's Overton Baseball Complex. Quite an impressive spread provided by Pitt County Post, and it looks like maybe Lay's and M&M.
Looks like we have a pinch hitter also. Or no, excuse me, Luke Mills will come up to bat.
You don't get a body like mine without eating a lot of sweets, Mike.
I'll tell you what, it is sweet. You know what, folks, if you think we're having a little bit of a tough time with lineups, a lot of times in these midweek non-conference games, these coaches have made agreements that we're, you know, going to kind of sub guys, run them in and out. Like I said, for Pitt Community College and for Wesleyan as well, this is a kind of a play for experience kind of situation. Obviously, both teams want to play. The scoreboard is on, but it's a little less formal of a setting than you may see on other broadcasts as you watch the feed on Pitt County Post during conference games.
I was checking the weather for this weekend. It should be gorgeous. Mid-70s, just a great couple days for baseball. Really excited about that.
Pitch from Jones is a check swing. It'll be a ball.
You know, Jay, what's impressed me, too, and folks that decide to come out to Minji's Overton this weekend, you know, you could dial this up on your cell phone, and the feed is the feed's pretty cool, and you could just listen to us and watch the game. And, I mean, can there be a better time than that?
I can't imagine.
Maybe bring some Bulldog beverages and hide down the line. I mean, I don't know. It could good time had by all.
Of course, we'll have our broadcast crew, our weekend crew in to do a good portion of the games. John, obviously, Mike's already a part of that. John will work his way into that rotation as well, and so we're excited about everybody. Please tune in to us.
2-2 after the foul off. At the plate for Mills, one of the better players on the JV roster. And now checking over at first, Jones throws it to Camarado. And getting back in safely is Whitmer.
You know, not a bad day to run. Obviously, the catcher makes a throw to second base in the teeth of the wind, and maybe just enough to take it offline or take a little off of it. So, kind of surprised. Of course, we hadn't seen many opportunities to run, but that may still be in tap for us the rest of the game.
Tight breaking ball there from Jones. Strikeout for out number 2 as Mills goes down swinging. One runner on, and Chris Aubrey comes up to the plate, second baseman for the Bulldogs. 0 for 2, strikeout, and a pop-out.
Love to see a 2-ball here. Get back in the dugout, swing the bats a little better.
Might get some movement on the base paths.
Jones sets and throws, and this one's a ball high. 1-0 to start to Aubrey.
Coach Clark is intently on sending messages to his team over there in his signal session, and so we'll see what that means for anything else.
Don't have his JV stats, but the varsity stats for Chris Aubrey's 4 for 4. As he watches the ball in there, 1,000 batting average, seven games he's played in with the varsity squad over at North Carolina Wesleyan.
You know, if he retired now, batting 1,000, I don't think there have been many guys at any level of college baseball that batted 1,000 for their career.
Coach Clark was kind enough to send us some bullet points on his team, and he was extremely complimentary of Aubrey's defensive ability, saying he's the best on our team. And so that means a lot when a coach labels you that way.
You know what it normally means? It normally means you're not very good offensively. It's kind of like
I didn't want to say that, Coach.
It's kind of like she has a great personality.
Ball in the dirt outside. 4-pitch walk to Aubrey there.
Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Top of the 5th. This is our 3-hole hitter here, John Mack.
Donnell Totten, who is 0 for 2 as well, struck out in the first, and then the 4th popped out to center field.
From Yanceyville, North Carolina, the western part of the state, moonshine capital of North Carolina.
Pulled him out of the mountains to come on down.
He's 1 for 2 in his varsity career, playing with the JV team today. And you'll see the first pitch as a strike.
You know, with some of this, as you look down that Wesleyan roster, like I mentioned earlier, if you're just joining us, these guys have players from all over the place, different states, and Division III baseball, no scholarships offered. But I think that's indicative of the environment of youth baseball with the travel ball. The coaches from North Carolina West can sit in one place and see guys from all over, and, you know, you take a shot at them, you may get them.
This one's low for a ball. And once again, runners on base with 2 outs. Only 1 run given up so far to the Battling Bishops. They lead 1-0. And the top of the 5th.
Coach Karachi just made an interesting move. Switched the infield so with the right-handed batter, the second baseman will hold the runner. I don't know if he's expecting a rollover here. May have saw something in the hitter's hands that make him think that he may roll the ground ball to the left side of the infield.
Jones checks on him there. Now he'll come home, and it's a ball low in the dirt.
Beautiful sun-splashed afternoon other than the wind. It's just a really pretty day.
Did you sun-splashed?
You like that alliteration, Coach?
I think that's a kind of Capri Sun. I think my kids like that sun-splashed Capri Sun.
The 2-1 from Jones is swung on and missed.
Fastball challenge right there.
Yeah, he came after him. And Coach Karachi keeping him switched in the middle. So he's got a feeling, telling the outfielders to be ready to make a throw to the plate. And I would think 2 outs with a 1-run lead, if there is a ball put in play into the outfield, you'll probably see that.
Whitmore on second, Aubrey on first for the Battling Bishops, and the 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and Jones sets him down, leaves 2 runners on base after a hit from the Battling Bishops. No score. It's 1-0 through 4.5. Excuse me. We're heading to the bottom of the 5th inning right here on Pitt County Post.
All right, folks, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our Bulldog player, Walker Jones. He's a right-handed pitcher from Newbern, North Carolina. He's a freshman for the Bulldogs. He went to West Craven High School. His achievements include having a 4.0 GPA in high school and winning conference his junior year. His favorite MLB team is the Yankees, and his favorite player is Roger Clemens. We asked if he could have any specific quality of any current or past baseball player, who and what would it be. He said Nolan Ryan, throwing 140 pitches in a game. The part of his game he wants to improve is his splitter. His plans after Pitt are to continue playing baseball. We asked what other skills he has. He said he can pop, lock, and drop it. He said if he could go back in time and witness one event in history, it would be able to watch his dad. He wished he could have seen that. Watch his dad play baseball. His pregame rituals include eating Chipotle, and he always listens to Brantley Gilbert. A superstition he has is his bats crossing. We said, what's something about yourself that most people don't know and you would like them to know? He said he overcame Tommy John. Huh. All right, and now we're going to go back to the live stream.
Bottom of the fifth inning here at Minji's Overton Complex. Beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Afternoon baseball. Businessman special was referred to. John McCormick on the play-by-play. Johnny Mack, give us what you got.
Chris Sullivan will continue on the mound for North Carolina Wesleyan. The Battling Bishops hasn't given up a run, only 4 hits so far as he works through 4 innings. Entering his 5th inning of work here, he'll have, looks like 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Bulldogs. As the pitch is swung on, lofted out to center field, trying to jack it back is Totten. He'll come over and make the catch. That's put down Braxton Green.
A little better approach, though. At least we're staying with the right side of the field, and that's a sign of optimism, and I'm sure that was something that was conveyed to them in the nicest way in between innings after the last offensive at-bat.
Leadoff man here, Johnny Mack.
Yep, that flips the order. Excuse me, looking at the wrong side of the book. Patrick Wheeler, the center fielder, comes up 0 for 2 so far. He'll see strike 1.
There again, we've kind of snipped out his approach against left-handers, and be willing to bet you're going to see the bulk of the pitches away from him. And I'm sure hopefully that adjustment has been made.
Patrick Wheeler, 333 on the season, takes this one out to right center field. Going back to the wall is Mills, and he'll make another catch out there in right field, out number 2, 2 long fly balls.
Yeah, that's probably the first one of the day that you could say, well, if the wind wasn't blowing, I might have had a chance, but the wind is blowing.
Number 2 hole hitter, Tommy Bullock, steps up next. Shortstop, 0 for 2, 2 lineouts. And his first 2 at-bats, he'll have 2 outs here.
Maybe he'll find the spot this time.
Sullivan delivers. Looks like something off speed again as it crosses the plate, strike 1.
Probably has had 2 of the better at-bats of the game for the Bulldogs with nothing to show for it.
The 0-1 is just outside, 1-1.
Away, 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 and further away. Inside for effect and pitch away. Here's your inside for effect.
Quite effective. He's been crafty, and he's obviously a guy that understands his skill set and is staying within it. And nice afternoon so far.
Yeah, really not trying to do too much, Jay.
The 2-1 and is chopped over to the left side. Shortstop picks it up. Posiero throws it across his body. Whitmore stretches, and it's not in time as Bullock gets down the line for an infield base hit.
That was a young man we mentioned had an at-bat in the last inning. He was a pretty good defensive player, and he came and got that one, made a nice throw, just not in time to get, Bullock run a little bit.
Oh, yes, sir, no doubt. Nice play by the first baseman to go get that ball.
Sure was.
It brings up Caleb Betty, the replacement catcher, will have his first at-bat.
Yeah, Beatty's got enough juice. He may be able to run one through this wind. We've seen him hit some balls a long way over the last couple of years, so it's a possibility for him, but love to see him just stay within.
271 average in 48 at-bats, and this one's a strike low and away.
That's an impossible ball to hit. I mean, I love a pitcher, but good grief, I'd stay right there all day long.
Good chance we'll see some action here on the base pass. Something got to force the action a little bit.
Bullock is tied with the team's leading in stolen base count with 4 this season. It's an 0-2 count at the plate for Beatty.
Shorten up here, bring it back up the middle.
Open stance on the left side from the catcher.
Which doesn't bode well when the guy's pitching away from you.
And the runner's moving, and it's lined down the right field line. It'll stay fair just inside the line. Is running around third base now is Bullock. Going into second is Beatty, and the throw home is not in time as Bullock jumped on as soon as the pitch was straight steal, and it may have been a hit and run as he comes around to score. Beatty has the first RBI for the Bulldogs. It's tied up 1-1.
It's one of the first times we've seen Sullivan just completely miss a spot. That was one of those examples where the catcher set up away and he misses into the middle of the plate, and Beatty does a nice job collecting the double there, RBI, to tie the ball game.
Nice hands at that at bat.
2-out rally after a single and a double. That'll bring up Dominic Camarada, who leads the team in RBIs. 2 outs, Sullivan on the mound, and he'll deliver, and it's fouled back to off the left side, 0-1.
Really be a good time to
no action in the bullpen down there for the JV.
No, yeah, got nobody down there, and this would be a good point in the game. Get a little something going with 2 outs. I mean, it doesn't. Still got one big one left.
Sullivan looks back at second, and he'll come home. It's an off speed for strike 2.
Front shoulder coming out a bit with Camarada. He needs to bear down, backside, backside, backside. Me telling a all-state athlete what to do, that's kind of funny.
You know, batting 1,000 up here. I don't know that anybody's told Dominic that the wind's blowing about 25 in.
Shifted back towards the hitter, and this one's in the dirt, ball 1.
Kind of like Sullivan didn't like that. I don't know if he didn't like the pitch call. Clearly a ball, but a little body language up there. And if he gives you body language, it's more than a little.
And he delivers, and it's a shot into left field. And now Biddy will come around third easily, standing up. And heading into second, Camarada standing up as well. It's 2-1. Bulldogs in the lead, back-to-back doubles. 3 hits in a row for the Bulldogs, and it's 2-1 in the top of the 5th.
That ball got to the fence in a hurry, and that was one of those situations where the left fielder really had no chance to make a really good route adjustment to that baseball to get behind it. It was kind of got to him and was by him before he knew it. Either way, probably a easy double for Camarada.
Nice RBI.
Drew Piskorik, the freshman from Winterville, North Carolina, South Central High School, comes up to bat now. See if he can keep the rally going for the Bulldogs.
I think I like one here between the two right light poles in right center.
Let's see a pitch inside for ball 1.
Yeah, this is the pitch right here. I'm going to go ahead and call it.
If he goes backside with Camarada's wheels, it'll be an interesting play at home.
2 home runs on the season. As this one is left alone, ball 2.
That was what looked like that knuckleball or some type of off-speed pitch that he's throwing. That might have been maybe that was the chapstick ball with Sullivan doing something a little different there.
Camarada gets his lead from second, and Piskorik turns it back up to middle, straight at the hitter. And Camarada come around the middle, won't have a play at the plate, as cutting it off is the first baseman Whitmer in the middle of the diamond. It's 3 straight RBIs off the bats of the Bulldogs, 4 straight hits, and they lead 3-1.
Johnny Mack, Piskorik having a good afternoon. What's he done?
Piskorik on the afternoon is 2 for 3, has 2 singles and a fielder's choice.
It's a good day. It's a good day. Good to have him back in the lineup. Got a little trip here to the mound. Looks like maybe the pitching coach. Not really sure what you say to him. He's giving you a great outing. Based on what I'm seeing in the bullpen, he's saying, hey, we need you to get us a little bit more. We do have a little action behind the dugout, kind of an interesting way. We do have bullpens here, but they have slid down behind the dugout playing toss a little bit, so maybe that's an indicator that somebody may be heading down there to try to get loose for the Bishops.
Yeah, I see the catcher. We're heading down there, so they're getting serious.
Meeting at the mound, head coach Greg Clark in his 7th season at Wesleyan is also an assistant for the varsity team as an alumni of Wesleyan in 1982 in the Hall of Fame there, and was inducted in 2013 to the USA South Hall of Fame as well.
I'm not sure that we'll see Piskorik do too much of there. As we mentioned earlier, he's been nursing that shoulder, and don't want to see him re-aggravate that thing. So be interested to see how they go it.
Runner on first, and it's a fake steal, and the bunt's pulled back at the plate from Mason Pickard.
Coach making everybody think after that type of call, and defense got to be on their toes.
Piskorik gets his lead back at first, and Pickard from the right side. We'll see Sullivan for the 3rd time today. Reached on an error in the 2nd, and he swings through the breaking ball.
Took a hack at that for sure.
He really did.
1-1 count. After that one, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. 3 runs so far for the Bulldogs after first 2 hitters were out. A 2-out rally. And Pickard at the plate looks to extend it. Now the runner will go. Pitch out to the right side, and the throw is into center field, and Piskorik slides into second. He'll hold there. As Totten, the center fielder, was quick on his feet to come in. Not a whole lot of power out there. Didn't roll too far.
Yeah, it almost looked like the catcher tried to choke that one off, like he didn't want to quite let it go. And kind of watching him between innings and had the opportunity to see him throw in the game. But between innings, a lot of balls with a lot of tail and not real indicative that he's a threat to throw you out.
Pitch is called strike 3. Breaking ball comes across the plate, and Pickard sat down, but not before the Bulldogs get on the board. 3 runs off 4 hits, a pair of doubles for Pitt Community College, leading after 5, 3-1 over the North Carolina Wesleyan JV Battling Bishops.
Thinking about where to get dinner after today's game? Let us suggest Lara Beer Mexican Restaurant. It's located at 658 Arlington Boulevard. It's a very unique eatery with a seating capacity of 180 and an additional private area for company meetings, large groups, or church organizations. They have authentic Mexican cuisine with specials every day. On Tuesdays, they have dollar tacos. Today, they have dollar quesadillas and chalupas. And Thursdays, they have 30% off their fajitas. Saturday, they have all-you-can-eat enchiladas. They use only the highest quality authentic ingredients with recipes that will entice your taste buds and fill the largest appetites. Come enjoy the wonderful flavors of Mexico. They're open Monday to Wednesday 11 to 9 and Thursday to Saturday 11 to 10. They are closed on Sunday. That is Lara Beer Mexican Restaurant, 658 Arlington Boulevard, across from the Greenville Mall. All right, and now we're going to go back live with Mike, Jay, and John.
Good afternoon, folks. Top of the 6th. Pitt Community College, of course, along with Coach Easton's playing all day, has a new pitcher in the game. And he is number 21, Trent Siebert out of Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina, Fuquay-Varina High School, of course, a legendary baseball program. And he's a left-hander. John?
Siebert comes on the mound, 5th pitcher for the Bulldogs after Morgan went 2 innings. Thompson, Medlin, and Jones each had an inning of their own. Now Siebert comes on to start off the 6th inning.
Shortstop leading off here. Made a nice attempt at a play last inning. Not enough for him to get it there, but young man that was mentioned earlier being a great defensive player for these Bishops.
He's 1 for 2 from the plate with a single. Was stopped at 3rd in the 4th inning. That's as far as he's gotten on the bases, and he'll watch ball 1 high and away.
A lot of good players have come through this program from that Fuquay-Varina High School program. And, Jay, as you alluded to, they've always had great baseball in that area, and the Fuquay-Varina Tigers, if I'm not mistaken.
And the lefty delivers, and it's outside. Ball 3.
Something that you think when you see a guy take the mound throwing strictly from the stretch with no runners on, that we probably have some struggles with mechanics, which is leading to not really throwing enough strikes. So Siebert working exclusively from the stretch, trying to simplify those mechanics, and one less move to get lost in.
That's an excellent point, Mike. When a young man is struggling, you break it down to the basics, and you don't often see it at this level, but often at the professional level you have a lot of folks in relief throwing from the stretch. But it is a point if somebody's taking him and said, let's break this down and simplify it, young man. He battled back.
Pair of strikes there for Siebert, and the 3-2 is fouled off to right side. And out of play, it'll stay 3-2.
All right, let's make an agreement between the three of us. Is he going to be Siebert or Siebert?
I tell you what, I want to get it right.
Well, he's one of those spelling rules. I before E except after C, something. Yeah.
I'm sorry I haven't checked with the phonetics of Coach Eason, but his family would sure like me to get it right, and I'd like to get it right for him.
How about we go Trent?
Another one fouled off. It'll stay 3-2.
I'd like to see him keep challenging with the fastball. If he hits it, that's fine. But you don't want to issue a walk here.
Nice at bat he's had so far to battle back. That's a nice spot there, the 3-2 pitch. Tough one to handle. Hard to lay off of.
3 straight fouled off. 5 straight strikes now on the mound. See what he comes with.
Classic pitcher-hitter battle.
Shortstop for the Battling Bishops sees the 3-2 pitch, and it's low for ball. Not many walks so far from the Bulldogs. That's number 1.
That's one of those situations, it's, he's making you throw, and it's the old Little League make 'em work, Johnny, and he was making them work. Quality at bat there. Quality at bat, one of the measures of a quality at bat is the number of pitches you saw, and that was about a 8 or 9 pitch at bat, so nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, smooth. I was wondering what kind of move the old lefty had.
I'm going to venture a guess that was not his best.
No, sir.
Checks on Posiero over there. Kevin Berry at the plate. 1 for 2, strikeout, and a single. And now squaring around to bunt, and he'll lay it down, push it back to the pitcher, and he'll throw it to second base. Shortstop there covering. Bullock picks it up, or makes the catch over there, and it's an out.
Yeah, that's another thing you look for in these pitchers, especially guys you may bring out of the pen, is their ability to field their position. Because a lot of times these guys are being brought into the heat of a situation, runners on base, and you have to be able to field that bunt and make the throw. And for those of you that have played, and for those of you that haven't played, you can't understand how difficult it is to field a baseball and turn and throw it to second base. It's a very difficult mental thing to pull off.
Barry's on first. Zach Byers at the plate, and he'll watch strike 1.
We get a little bit numb to the athletes we're watching here. These young men, baseball's a very difficult sport, and the level they play it at relative to other people who've attempted this game is substantial.
Good job by B to keep that ball in front of him where he can make a play on it. I would be interested to see Trent's move over to first base, see what his best effort is. It's always fun to watch those left-handers kind of hang them out there.
Noah Strock at the plate. 1-1 is fouled off back over the press box. 1-2 count, 1 out so far in the top of the 6th.
Might not be a bad time to send them a little series of signs by the skipper down there at third base. Be interesting. Wind's kind of shifted. It's kind of out the right now. So
another check, and Camarado having to step over the runner, sliding in head first to save that one.
Strock, the batter, is a varsity relief pitcher in the DH spot today. Coach Clark is very high on this young man's potential as he ages through the program.
Pitch is in.
Wow.
And struck out, rung him up a little bit late, but a strikeout for Siebert.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. My wow might have been early because I thought he wasn't going to call it a strike. That was a hit-me breaking ball, too. A lot of action down in the Bishop bullpen now, so I would imagine we'll see a pitching change here going into the next inning.
Christian Heisey comes up to bat now. He doubled and scored the only run for the battling Bishops in this one. That was in the 3rd inning. Comes up now, 2 outs, runner on first. It is Barry. Pitch in high for ball 1.
There again, this is one of those situations, man. 2 outs, come get the guy, throw a lot of strikes, work from out front.
Look over at the runner, now look back home, and he'll deliver the pitch, and it's high again, ball 2.
And this guy at the plate has proven to be a fairly formidable hitter. We may, 2-0 count. Good time with you. It's an action pitch. Let's see what happens.
Pitch from Siebert is in for strike 1.
Takes that count to 2-1. I don't know. Probably if he was going to go, I think it would have been before now.
Over at first is Kevin Berry. He'll hold again, and this one's in for strike 2. Looks over across the diamond and gets a signal over at first. And not going this time either. This one's in the dirt, and knocking it down is Beatty. Holding Barry over at first.
Stand's not necessarily full here today, but it's a robust crowd that sits out here through this wind. There's going to be there's definitely some chapstick needed out there.
Interesting, though, there's still some college coaches here, so that's interesting stuff.
Heisey swung on and missed to set it down. So after a leadoff walk from Trent Seibert, back-to-back strikeouts to end the top of the 6th inning, head into the bottom of the 6th inning. The Battling Bishops lead trail 3-1 to the Pitt Community College Bulldogs.
All right, thank you for tuning in with us. This is Pitt County Post. I just wanted to tell you again, we have games this weekend. 2 on Saturday will be live at 12:50 and at 3:50, and 1 on Sunday will be live at 12:50. We thank you for tuning in. Also, if you want to go back and watch old broadcasts, they are now available on pittcountypost.com.
Good afternoon, folks. Bottom half of the 6th inning, 3-1. Pitt Community College leading by 2. I want to remind folks, mentioned earlier, we were having a dirt track racing season begin. We had originally thought we were going to begin last Saturday night. The rain, of course, did cancel that race. So April 8th will be our first race, and we'll be April 8th, April 22nd, April 29th. Racing on Saturday night, so tune in, 7:30 to 11:30 live stream. Several races. It is ultra exciting dirt track racing. We think you'll enjoy if you get an opportunity to watch us. If you get an opportunity to go on YouTube and do some dirt track racing, County Line Raceway. It's an old venerable track over in Elm City, North Carolina, we'll be based out of for our dirt track season. But we're incredibly excited about the opportunities. We'll go all through the summer and through the fall. But our first events will be April 8th and April 22nd, 7:30 to 11:30 Saturday night. Please tune in.
New pitcher for North Carolina Wesleyan, Brad Patin, steps onto the mound out of Wilson, North Carolina. Wilson Christian High School, 5'11", 175 pounds. And the right-hander delivers a called strike.
A little different look than what we had with Sullivan hit first pitch in there. So let's, well, here we go away.
And Belcher at the plate watches ball one squared out of the catcher's glove and back to the backstop.
Yeah, he missed that 17 inches across the plate. That's the diameter. Catcher was set up away, and he went off in.
Byron Belcher at the plate for the Bulldogs. Watches ball two. Three runs in the bottom of the 5th inning for Pitt give them the 3-1 advantage so far. And now Belcher watches ball 3.
By the look of the activity in the Wesleyan bullpen, we're going to see some of the staff the rest of the way. It looks like to me they're heading to the committee.
You know, and that's kind of one of those situations where you're not real sure if this guy's going to throw strikes.
And this one is just out of Posiero's glove over there. And so leadoff single for Byron Belcher to start off the bottom of the 6th.
Nice hands, Mully.
Yeah, he got inside that ball, fought it off into the Tony Gwynn 6.5 hole there. So Tony Gwynn made quite a living for a long time doing that.
Pure genius.
He made one of the best hitting videos I've ever seen. It was unbelievable. Him in spring training was just talking to young hitters. It was pretty cool.
Reese Farmer steps into the box now, and Batten's going to check on the runner over at first. Back in time easily is Belcher.
That's the pick to see if he shows.
And now Batten will come home, square around the bunt, and throwing back to first is not in time as Heisey came up firing after the missed bunt. Almost had Belcher a little bit too far out.
Would have been a bad day for Mr. Belcher had he been picked off down there.
I'm not sure who would have called it worse, Farmer or Belcher.
Well, no, it would have been a sack situation. So our base runners
got to be smart. Always got to be smart, not overactive. What's the old John Wooden? Be quick but not in a hurry.
Yep.
Belcher's checked on again, and now he'll be running. It's a swing through that one, and the throw is into center field. Looks like Aubrey couldn't handle the throw as it was off to the right side from Heisey, and Belcher will slide into second.
I'm going to say that was a hit and run that was blown, and luckily the throw was blown as well, so resulting in a runner at second base. But I don't think, I don't think Belcher's a guy that you're going to straight steal. And a lot of times that hit and run is not about necessarily. A lot of it could be about staying out of the double play. It's just put the ball in hard and play hard where it's pitched, and he just swung through that, maybe trying to do a little too much.
Tricky spot here, Johnny Mac.
Farmer leaves that breaking ball alone up top, 1-2. Tried to bunt him over, then you try the hit and run. It'll be interesting to see if Farmer can put something on the right side. And he will. It's a pop-up all the way out to right field. Going back is Mills, and now coming in, and he can't get there in time. As going over to third after thinking about tagging is Belcher, and Farmer goes to first.
Mills has looked good in right field. That time the sun must have handcuffed him. He really did not have a good judgment on that ball.
Yeah, I don't it kind of looked like he did lose it for a little bit there. We're starting to get some shadows, different parts of the park, and he's kind of got that setting sun to deal with, so it might have been a little bit much. You see him guarding his face out there, trying to keep the sun out of his eyes.
Corners.
Braxton Green comes up, runner on third. Belcher running on first. Farmer for the Bulldogs, no outs in the bottom of the sixth. And they'll square around the bunt, pull it back, and it's a called ball outside.
First and third situations in college baseball, one of my favorite things to watch. So much different than in pro ball. In pro ball, it's a lot of times you've got such quality hitters and pitchers that you're letting them match up. But this is situations. These are situations that a lot of times you'll see something happen that you don't otherwise get to see.
As Farmer's checked on at first, slides back in safely, and Batten will get back on the mound. Braxton Green, freshman, hitting .217 this season. Watch his ball, too.
What he's doing here is showing it's kind of a safety situation. It's not, there again, not all about trying to score the run from third, more about trying to stay out of the double play by bunting the guy successfully into second base.
And the pitch from Batten is tipped off the end of the bat back into the net, strike one.
You see Coach Eason down there with the stopwatch, trying to get an idea of how quick this new pitcher is to the plate, trying to kind of back into the math of knowing your base runner at first. Does he have a chance to steal the bag, or are you going to have to help him a little?
Of course, the speedy Farmer at first.
And this breaking ball is left alone up high, and it looked like Braxton Green may have been squaring around the bunt.
Boy, how could he lay off that? That was about Bill high, wasn't it?
Runs the count to 3-1. No outs yet in the bottom of the sixth.
You know what's so interesting, too, is talking straight speed doesn't always translate to baseball.
And this one is down the middle. It's taken out to right field.
Mills
can't see it. Has his hand in front of his face,
Wow.
and he's way off, and it's on the right side. Around comes Belcher, and Farmer's rounding third. Now heading over to the third is Green, and it's a two-run triple on the board, and Mills completely lost that one up in the sun, landed about 100 feet away from him.
Yeah, I mean, he was completely out of the universe.
Well, and a lot of times this time of the day, nearly every ballpark has a sun field, and it's a huge home team advantage type situation that they've gotten to practice in that. And that he was called in the proverbial Chinese fire drill out there by himself and had no clue where that he didn't know if he was going to get hit by the ball. He was kind of clueless.
They hustled some sunglasses out to him. Maybe certainly like my life a day late and dollar short. But,
might want to do that maybe the last time he missed one. Now he's out there thinking, please don't hit it to me. I got these foreign sunglasses on. This dude's face sweats all on my head.
First pitch to the top of the lineup. Patrick Wheeler watches ball one. Strike on the corner.
It makes sense. You think it was a ball, Johnny Mack. It was in the right-hander's batter's box.
Second pitch is called ball. Looks like the infield's in a little bit.
Kind of interesting infield in, down 4. I think it would be, is it down 5? 4 or 5 at this point in the game.
And this one's taken out to left center
Trouble.
field. Barry and Totten going after it. Barry can't get to it in left field. He'll pick it up off the second bounce, throw it into second, and getting it just in time is
Ooh,
Patrick
Coach
Wheeler.
Easton is furious.
I am very surprised that Joe Kalinda did not bang him for not sliding.
Just on the principle alone.
And it rightly so. Had he called him out, it would have been understood.
Wow, I don't know that Tommy Eason is going to let that one slide by him.
Well, and here at Pitt Community College, they wash the uniforms for him, so there's really no excuse for not sliding.
Oh, man, you got to think he just kind of let up on that one. He's a hustling kid. So
Tommy Bullock watches the ball. Nice throw from Barry out in left field, though, off the 2 bounces.
my guess is we see him slide hard in the second this weekend.
I would think so.
As Batten delivers, and a breaking ball called ball.
It's funny, we talk and chat. Coach Easton's an institution in this neck of the woods, and folks have a pretty clear understanding of how he coaches. He is very direct and lets folks know exactly where he stands, and that's great for young men. They need that, and he teaches the fundamentals like sliding in the second.
Yep, there's nobody better.
1 for 3 at the plate, and Bullock watches the strike. 3-1.
The thing about Coach Easton, when he goes into a living room, you can believe what he says he's going to do for your son.
The 3-1 pitch is taken over the shortstop. Pasario backhands it, throws across the diamond. Whitmer catches,
Nice
and
play.
it's the first out of the inning.
And very little discussion in those living rooms about baseball. It's about academics and life and becoming the kind of person that they want their son to be.
Coach coming out to the mound, and an arm coming out of the bullpen as well. We'll have a new pitcher.
Going left matchup here. Had a lefty coming in, and this program, for the history of the program, has always been built on blue collar folks, hard workers, and in my time here, if you had a player come in and wonder what your shoe contract was or what kind of bats you swung, it probably wasn't going to be the right place for them. And Coach and the staff here with Coach Wood and Coach Karachi, they're not here just to recruit good players. They're here to recruit good fits, and there's a huge difference. I'll give you a great example. We had a young man, and I won't say his name. Some of you watching may know him, not from the immediate area, but anyway, he was a very good player and was homeschooled and had a trainer and a dietitian and a hitting guy and a pitching guy and a defense. And really it was one of those situations where if he's doing all those things already, what are we going to give him that he doesn't already have? How are we going to make this guy better? Which is, why people come here, why young men come to play for Pitt Community College is to get better. Is to get better academically, to get better as a young man, and to get better at baseball. And if you've got a young man in that situation who's already getting, above standard coaching, that he's doing it every day as a job, and school is just a sidelight for him. This isn't going to be the place for him.
Well, the success that Coach Easton has had has given the administration, his athletic director, all those people a level of security and safety in his judgment that it makes it real easy. It seems like the program runs effortlessly, but he is up here all the time, and his staff, he has really got a talented staff that loves baseball and is dedicated to their working lives, and that's unique. I mean, these guys aren't making $1 million a year, and they do it because they love the game, they love teaching and being around it, and they are, as is always with his staff, they are quality baseball men.
Another thing that's interesting about the philosophy here at Pitt that's shared throughout the staff and the program, as opposed to other junior college programs where the head coach wants a 2-year commitment. So if you sign, he wants you there for 2 years, unless, of course, you're drafted after your first year. But Coach Easton and the staff here doesn't believe in that. If the right situation comes along for a young man after his first year in the program, then they're the biggest ones to cheer you on to move on to that 4-year situation. So a lot of unique things here, and I always say if I ever win the lottery, guys, I'm going to we'll have Mullah Stadium out here. This place is near and dear to my heart. I can still see my oldest son running around out here playing in the sprinklers in my time here, and visions and things in my mind that'll never be forgotten.
Logan Jackson is the new pitcher for the Battling Bishops, freshman from Roanoke Rapids High School in North Carolina. 6'1", 185 is the left-hander.
This is the kind of kid you see as a left-hander, and he's got the frame is there, and you wonder what else is in the tank. And as he gets older and stronger, you never know. He's also one of the guys you go, if he throws any harder, he'll get killed because he's maybe just a little below what you would perceive to be bat speed. But it's very projectable frame, and as a young guy, you wonder what he'll look like 3 years from now.
Left-handers always have a place on a ball club.
No.
2-1 count, and it's a hit by a pitch as Beatty takes it off of his right front shoulder in the back. He'll trot down to first.
Not a word out of the dugout about Milwee. I hope that was a coach's decision for rest.
Yeah, you gotta hope that it would be. And there again, we're speculating. We have no idea, but you certainly would hope that it was just about maybe trying to get Beatty some at bats, some time behind the plate. Obviously, you're going to need catchers going down the line. I mean, it's one of those things that's largely forgotten. Is how important that guy behind the plate is, and the depth of that position. And you can't do it with just one guy. So hopefully that's the situation, and not nothing wrong with Daniel.
Yeah, I guess he's got 23 innings this weekend. He'll do the bulk of the work in some form or fashion, either DHing or catching. So it all hopefully makes sense. Coach Easton's fairly tight-lipped about the health of his ball club. Some privacy reasons for that. I'm sure some strategy reasons too. But if you ask him, I suppose if he was a general in the Civil War, he would tell me he never had a casualty because his team is always healthy.
And that's another thing that people that's different. Those that enjoy watching, say, East Carolina and then come over and watch Pitt Community. Another major difference is that as opposed to Friday, Saturday, Sunday games here in junior college baseball, you play 2 on Saturday, 2 7-inning games, so a doubleheader every Saturday, and then a 9-inning game on Sunday, which is a departure from what it has been historically, which has always been 4 7-inning games. So, another difference that a lot of people may not be aware of, and obviously changes a lot about how you have to manage your pitching staff and manage your guys. And then when you get into the postseason, everything goes to straight 9. So the ability to play that 9-inning game on Sunday, which those 2 innings make a huge difference, trust me, gives your guys some familiarity with the grind of a 9-inning ball game.
Coach Easton had talked before the season about the change in division they were in this year, and it goes back to scholarship funding. Pitt Community College, very successful in the Region X they had been in, Region 10. And the change with the way they've done it this year is and that's what's necessitated the change in the scheduling, where they don't have 2 doubleheaders anymore both days. And it was just in the national competitions, some schools have incredible funding mechanisms that bring in a higher quality baseball player, and North Carolina schools approach things differently. And so it's interesting, but he was a very big winner in that division and has obviously had a nice season so far this year.
Logan Jackson saw just one hitter. He hit him in the back, as that'll put Beatty on first. Wheeler still on third, and it'll bring up Dominique Camarada. Robert Burns, the new pitcher out of South Carolina, North Myrtle Beach High School, 6'2", 240.
I think they're using this as a situation to teach these young guys, and they being the Bishops, that they're pitching matchups. They went left to left. Your only job is to come in and get out the left-hander. You hit him in the back. All right, now we got to get a right-hander in to try to get out, Camarada. So I would think that's probably what the thought process is from their dugout.
And the pitch in is a ball 1-1. 1 out, 6-1. Pitt leads North Carolina Wesleyan JV here.
Jay, and back to your point about the decision to change divisions, going from a quote-unquote Division I to a Division II program. The biggest difference there is that in Division I junior college baseball, by the NJCAA, which is the governing body, the equivalent of the NCAA, a Division I program is allowed 22 full scholarships. So that's room, board, food. That's everything you would need to be on campus. whereas the Division II schools are allowed to offer in-state tuition and fees. Well, the North Carolina system, with all the public junior colleges, so anyone that's a community college, a CC, any one of those schools, the state basically mandated that they would only be allowed to do tuition and fees, even for an out-of-state student. So you have a kid here from Virginia or Maryland or anywhere that's not North Carolina, they're paying $16,000, $17,000 a year to go to Pitt Community College.
3-1 is up high, and it's a walk to start Robert Burns' outing on the mound.
Bases loaded. Yes, it's a commitment by the family, and it is the thing that's so impressive, even with what might be a battle against money otherwise, Coach Easton's had a very successful program, and so and he's been fortunate in that regard. We have been fortunate, the community has.
No, it was just a few years ago. They were in the the Division I National Championship, the equivalent of the trip to Omaha. They were in Grand Junction, Colorado, and one of the, had a chance to the fortunate opportunity, I guess, to play against Bryce Harper in Southern Nevada, College of Southern Nevada, who was one of those programs that benefits from the high caliber of scholarship. And that program had, if I'm not mistaken, 8 or 9 guys drafted after that year into professional baseball. So to level the playing field, come back and play within the rules that are provided, Coach Eason and the athletic administration staff made the decision to go to the Division II level.
2-1 to Nash Johnson, who will take over the DH spot in the lineup. As a pinch hitter, a utility fielder, freshman, 5'7", 170 from Benson, North Carolina. One out, bases loaded as Johnson takes this one out to left field. A lot of air under it. Barry trying to come in to get it, and it'll bounce in front of him as the umpire signals safe. And now a runner comes in from third. That's Wheeler. He'll score, and all the runners advance safely.
Not a good jump on that ball.
Kind of seeing it start to unravel a little bit for the Bishops. Unfortunately, we had a crisp, clean, quick-moving game going there for a while, but starting to see some things that are less than clean.
Fourth pitcher that the battling Bishops have used. Seen a couple this inning, and Mason Pickard will be the new batter for Pitt Community College. 0 for 3 so far. Bases loaded, only one out, and he'll watch strike one.
Nice swing. He's got a nice swing, and he can do some damage here. 0 for 3. He's as we might always beg do. So,
238 average on the season. This one's low and inside, ball one. Beatty's on third. Camarada's on second. Johnson, the pinch hitter's over on first. And Pickard's at the plate. If he gets on base, we'll see most likely Byron Belcher, and that will mean that they've hit around the lineup.
Yeah, it looks like number 14, Clay Wilson's on deck as a pinch hitter.
See another new face for the Bulldogs. They lead 7-1.
Local boy, Aiden Grifton product. Nice school, beautiful school down there, wonderful people, and nice baseball program.
Corey Skinner, head coach there, and Clay actually grew up in the old Triple Crown days as well. He was a regular. He was a mainstay.
2 strikes, 2 balls to Pickard, the second baseman for the Bulldogs. Defense playing pretty much straight up now as the wind still slightly blows in, and it's a pitch. Looks like it was called low. Ball 3, 3-2.
Bases loaded with dogs.
We'll see what Robert Burns brings here. Full count. Hasn't had a whole lot of success hitting the strike zone. Burns' pitch is just inside, and it's a called ball. It'll walk in a run as Beatty comes around and scores the 8th run of the game for the Bulldogs. Bases stay loaded.
I'm not so sure this young guy on the mound knows who's behind the plate either. He kind of put his hands on his hips and gave a little look in, and I can promise you that will win you no favor. You can find yourself out there till tomorrow morning if you do that too many times to the gentleman behind the plate.
We'll see the pinch hitter, Clay Wilson, from Aiden Grifton High School, come on here, and he'll see a strike in his first pitch.
I dare say, Mully, what do you say? We got 60, 75 years of umpiring experience between this crew out here.
If there's a day.
I mean, these gentlemen are long in the tooth, and they have been in the grind for decades.
I think Kalinda called
he was having her double days.
Double days first game. Yeah. It was double day and the double day 9 versus Jesus and the disciples with Joe Kalinda on the dish.
The 0-2 pitch to Wilson.
Strike 3.
Is called the strike. And Wilson goes down looking in his pinch hit appearance. Base is still loaded, second out of the inning recorded.
You know, you hate to see that for a guy. Comes off the bench, it's a little bit chilly. And I'm going to tell you, one of the hardest things to do in all of sport is to come off the bench and get into the rhythm of the game with a pinch hit at bat. You know, you got to go up there looking to compete, and that was, not his most competitive effort.
Reese Farmer out of South Central comes up to the plate now. We'll see strike 1.
Another young man coached by Coach Peanut Langston. Coach Langston, his son, actually on the club and a really good player. Drew Piscork, the young man Farmer. I want to say there's maybe 1 or 2 more.
You know, young Langston Macon had a game-winning walk-off in one of our broadcasts earlier in the season, and real talented young man. Folks are real high on him, popular on the team.
Well, and anytime you're the son of a coach, you know, it kind of moves you to the front of the line when recruiting time comes.
The 0-2 is outside. One
Peanut.
ball, 2 strikes.
Peanut, of course, Coach Langston at South Central retired now as Scrappy, middle infielder with East Carolina in the late 70s, early 80s, and just as we spoke about earlier, a guy who loves the game.
1-2 is outside. Check swing. Didn't go around 2-2.
And Fernand, obviously, Macon's grandfather is none other than Rabbit Fulgham. So baseball runs in his blood, and I'm sure it wasn't long after birth that he had either a bat or ball or both in his hands, and probably was learning how to run bases shortly thereafter.
Coach Fulgham with the fun nickname, but certainly deserves all the respect of a coach. I often refer to as Rabbit, but Coach Eason, a long history in this part of the world.
You know, you talk about, and you made a Wooden reference earlier, and it's always the coaching tree of Wooden. And now, if you look at the coaching effect that Coach Peanut Langston, Coach Fulgham has had on this area, it's remarkable.
Runners are moving on the 3-2, 2 out. This one's soared out to center field. Totten gets under it, squeezes it out. Number 3 is recorded. 3 runs left on base. No errors from the battling Bishops, but the Bulldogs do break it open. 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 8-1. You're listening to Pitt Community College Baseball on Pitt County Post live stream.
All right, today's game is brought to you in part by Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is a one-stop shop for the modern car buying experience. You can visit their website at greenvilleautoworld.net to see their inventory specials and other information on how Greenville Auto World gets you exactly the vehicle you want, color, style, or price. Or you can visit their spacious and beautiful dealership at 3840 South Charles Boulevard. They're open Monday to Friday, 9 to 6, and they're open 9 to 3 on Saturdays. In helping people through what has become a requirement of life, Greenville Auto World prides itself on making each customer's needs their top priority.
Auto World's long-awaited expansion features a new state-of-the-art repair facility that's larger than ever. With a spacious showroom and increased staff, every aspect of our new building was planned with greater customer experience in mind. No hassles, no frustrations, just top-notch care and the cleanest cars, trucks, and SUVs in the area.
To have your great customer experience, visit us in person or on the web at greenvilleautoworld.net.
At Greenville Auto
Welcome back. Top of the 7th inning. Bulldogs up 8-1 after a very impressive bottom half of the 6th, putting 5 runs on the board, 8 runs in the last 2 innings as we gaze away at the scoreboard in right center field. The sun sets behind us, and you've seen, if you've watched the stream, you've seen the right fielder having some difficult times with the sun. But we have a new pitcher on the mound, I believe, and we'll go back to John McCormick. We welcome Silas Albright to the broadcast. He'll be wrapping it up as Coach Mullis had a couple requirements to keep him away from the rest of the game. But Johnny Mack, catch us up on the new pitcher.
Looks like Brandon Winstead will be the new pitcher for the Bulldogs, the freshman out of Wilson, North Carolina Pike High School. And he's 6'1", 196 pounds. He'll take over in the top of the 7th. And the first batter that he'll face is Tremaine White from the right side, and the pitch is in a little bit high.
A little lively arm there.
Bit of a side arm coming around quick from Winstead. Winstead's second pitch is high again and inside, 2-0. On the season, he has 4 appearances, 5 2/3 innings of work as this one's chopped off the bat. 9 hits given up, 9 runs, 7 of them being earned, 10 strikeouts and 2 walks so far for Brandon Winstead.
Looks like an opportunity here for Winstead to just get some more innings under his belt, get a little bit more experience, maybe get adjusted to the level and style of play here at Pitt.
A recorded second strike there as White swings through it, 2-2. Defense playing straight up as the 2-2 pitch is down the middle. Didn't swing at that, and he caught him looking, and it's a strikeout to start for Winstead.
We set the defense for you. Looks like Clay Wilson, the young man we talked about that came in to pinch hit, is now at shortstop, and Bullock has moved over to third base. Defensively, we'll see if we can get the other changes.
Winstead delivers the pitch, and it's fouled off back and out of play. Looks like Tyler Ricks is going to be the pinch hitter for the battling Bishops. He'll take over first base, David Whitmire. Days will be done. He finished 2 for 2 from the plate.
You know, Winstead has got an unusual approach with his 3/4 release there. It's got to be a little bit challenging for the batters.
This one's fouled off to the left side. 2 strikes, 1 ball.
Winstead, of course, out of Elm City, North Carolina, where our dirt track racing originates from. We have April 8th and April 22nd. Please tune in for those dates. And 29th as well in April. Saturday night, 7:30 to 11:30.
The 1-2 is back to Winstead off his glove. He'll barehanded, pick it up, and flip it over to first base. And it'll be out number 2. 2 up, 2 down so far for Winstead. A smooth start after throwing 2 balls to start this inning.
Nice way to keep us cool and the ground ball back to him. Sometimes you can get a little scattered and make a throwing error or not pick the ball up cleanly, and that was a nice play to get the routine out. 2 outs.
It'll flip it back to the top of the lineup for the battling Bishops as Winstead delivers a breaking ball that cuts across the plate, not in time at the ball 1. Luke Mills, the leadoff hitter for the Bishops, 0 for 3 today. And this one is wild high as Beatty couldn't get a glove on it. Goes back to the backstop, and we may also have another new catcher coming on for the Bulldogs, and it's Sammy Kraft, the freshman from North Pitt High School behind the dish.
Yep, young man from Bethel, North Carolina. Of course, another local product.
Mills at the plate. He'll swing through that. 2-1. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Pitt leading 8-1.
It's great to see local products here in Winterville playing for Pitt, getting to continue their baseball career in front of many of their family and friends. It's a great opportunity Pitt community provides for the community, the players, their families, and everybody involved.
2-2 count after the pitch is fouled off. Infield playing deep. And this one didn't look like it broke as it stayed high and inside. It's 3-2.
You know, he's with that release, with that little attempt at a breaking ball and a little wildness, you know, nobody's digging in on him.
The 3-2 is inside. It'll be a walk. As Luke Mills trots down to first base for the first time today. It'll bring up Chris Aubrey. It was 1 for 3.
Top of the 7th, 8-1 Bulldogs.
Chance for the Bulldogs to get a couple runs back here with 2 outs. We'll see if they can rally. Nobody in the bullpen for them as they used a couple pitchers in the last inning. Aubrey at the plate. And Winstead on the mound facing the 4th hitter. And his outing, and it'll force a ground ball to the right side. Camaretto gloves it, steps on first, and after a walk, Winstead escapes in his inning of work in the 7th. No runs for the Battling Bishops in that inning. 1 left on base, no errors for the Bulldogs on defense, and it's 8-1 heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. You're listening to Pitt Community College Bulldog Baseball on the Pitt County Post live stream.
All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about number 32 from the Bulldogs, Jake Isbell. He's a right-handed pitcher, and he's a freshman here. He's from Holly Springs, North Carolina, and he went to Holly Springs High School. His achievements include first team All-State and SWAC Conference Player of the Year. His favorite MLB team is the Atlanta Braves, and his favorite player is Chipper Jones. We said if you could have any specific quality of any current or past baseball player, who and what would it be? He said Johnny Cueto, his swagger on the mound. We said, what part of your game do you want to improve the most? He said his commanding pitches. And his plans after Pitt include going to play D1 baseball. We said if you could go back in time and witness one event in history, what would it be and why? He said he would like to watch Michael Jordan play. He is the best basketball player ever. He always listens to Leonard Skinner before a game. And his superstitions include never stepping on the foul line ever. We said, who do you call, text, or talk to after every game? And he said, it's a different girl every week. We said, is there anyone in his family that played or currently plays sports at the college level or higher? He said his dad played college baseball. And we said, if you had to pick a skill other than baseball to master, what would it be? And he said it would be golf. And now we're going to go back live to Silas, John, and Jay.
Bottom of the 7th here at Winterville, North Carolina, 8-1 Bulldogs in complete command of the afternoon. I like that young man's taste in music there, Kelly. Back to Johnny Mack.
Braxton Green, the 9-hole hitter, will lead off the bottom of the 7th as the Bulldogs have a 7-run lead. 13 hits on the board so far for Pitt Community College. Robert Burns back on the mound for the Battling Bishops. And his first pitch of the bottom of the 7th is foul to the right side.
Braxton going up there looking for something now, going swinging.
0-1 count to start. Looks like we have another pinch hitter on deck, Dylan Cunningham, out of South Central High School as well. Could be batting next as at the plate. Green watches strike 2.
Pitcher gets ahead on the 0-2 count. You really got to go up there ready to go now. Shorten up, bang it back up the middle, a little choke maybe.
Green watches this one outside as Burns falls off to the left side of the mound. Heisey skates off to the right to track that one down. 1-2 count.
Obvious wasted pitch there.
Burns delivers the 1-2, and it's inside breaking pitch. Didn't break all the way in, just on the inside, and it's 2-2.
You can see from the stream our shadows are encroaching as the sun sets further behind us in the west. She may have some factors playing in on some fly balls, who can tell.
Pitch is back up to the pitcher. Burns fields it, throws to first. It's a high throw, but putting it back on the runner is Whitmer over at first. It's out number 1. And pitch hitter will be coming up, Dylan Cunningham, freshman from Winterville, North Carolina, leading the team in on-base percentage so far this season.
Another local product out of South Central High School.
We'll have an at-bat here. And the first pitch you'll see is a called strike. We'll see if Pitt continues to bring in a pitcher each inning. They've had a lot of success sticking to their game plan so far. This one's in the dirt from Burns, but After 2 innings from Morgan, Thompson, Medlin, Jones, Siebert, and Winston had all successfully thrown their inning.
Yeah, it looks. So you look at the line score, and you got a run into third and zeros all the way across the play. So seems like Coach Easton's plans have worked so far so good.
Another strike called there, 1-2. And as we get to the later part of this 9-inning game, and a lot of opportunities for the younger players, both coaches said they wanted to give. And here's one for Dylan Cunningham as he lines one into the right side, gap out into right field. Mills will throw it back in, and it's a base hit for Cunningham coming off the bench.
Real nice piece of hitting there. Stayed within himself and got him a C&I single, as they call it.
Tommy Bullock will stay in the game. He's the shortstop so far. 1 for 4 on the day, scored a run in the 5th.
Bullock comes to us from Mooresville High School via North Carolina Central, and he's putting things back together with his college baseball career, and a very important part of the team this year.
Turned to double play, and that double play was his 7th on the year, which leads the team as the shortstop, as he has a 1-0 count here. And the pitch from Burns is a ball, 2-0.
2-0 here in the driver's seat as a batter. Should be looking something fat here. Runner on, and we'll see how it ends up. But a 2-0 pitch is certainly a hitter's pitch.
Aubrey at second is playing on the grass line. Everywhere else is normal depth as this one's popped back over the press box for strike 1.
Eight to 1, bottom of the 7th. Bulldogs in control, 1 out.
Burns on the mound for the battling Bishops. Checks over at first. Cunningham back in time. No slide. As we'll try to keep him close.
Cunningham moves good. Obviously, outfielder on his defensive side, so he moves really well, and might be something going on.
This one's fouled straight back off of the net behind home plate, and it's 2-2.
Found straight back like that, he's kind of dead on it, just fractions of an inch with those hands from driving it right back up the middle.
Check over at first, and Cunningham skates back in time. And it was off of a foul ball, so Burns looked back at the umpire to say was he out or not, and it was still a dead ball. Hadn't gotten back on the mound. 2-2 count for Burns, and Bullock at the plate. Pitch is inside, ball 3.
Well, some off-speed potential that didn't really turn for him. Full count here. Should be fun.
Bullock's had a real nice at-bat so far.
Runner moving at first, and this one's lined out of play to the right side.
Excellent example of that, Silas, staying alive on a full count, protecting the plate, and giving himself another opportunity for a base hit or get on base on balls.
Absolutely, and that 2-2 pitch you watched on the that he took for ball 3 was really, really good eye. Just trying to extend the at-bat.
Runner moving again is Cunningham trying to pick up second. It's a high pop-up out to center field. Totten going to his left, and Mills comes over to his right. He'll make the catch, and Cunningham gets back into first in time. Not going to get doubled up there, but it's a pop out to right field. That'll bring up the third catcher we've seen today, Sammy Kraft, for the Bulldogs. Kraft out of North Pitt High School will have his first at-bat after getting some time behind the dish. Bottom of the 7th, Bulldogs lead by 7 as they try to extend it. Cunningham over at first. He was a pinch hitter as well. And this one is taken right back up the middle. It's a high pop-up, and coming in from center field is Totten, and he can't make the play as it drops in front of him, and going to second is Kraft, and he'll walk right in there as the shortstop and second baseman both went out to try to make the play. And Totten in center field couldn't. And the Bulldogs will have a runner on third and second.
That's a lot of hustle there by that middle infield and the center field and the right footer. But quite frankly, you kind of want your shortstop covering second right there. Left it exposed, and obviously the sharp running, he takes second, and your shortstop really didn't have a play on that ball, and you might want to have him covering second to keep that bag from being just a giveaway bag.
Another chance for Camerata at the plate. Leads the team in RBIs. He'll take a ball outside. 2 outs again for the Bulldogs, 2 runners on.
You know, Johnny Mack, it'll be interesting to see if Dominic gets anything to hit here with the base open at first and 2 outs. Obviously, his reputation precedes him.
Behind him is another pinch hitter, and Nash Johnson, and he'll swing at this one. Swung through it, and it's strike 1. See if going after him pays off or not with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th.
Everybody's straight up on defense.
And the ball in the dirt is stopped by Heisey as he had to bring his glove across his body to pick that one out of the dirt and keep the runner Cunningham at third in place.
Cunningham is definitely lively over there at third base. He's on his front foot. If there had been a mistake by the catcher, he was right ready to take it home.
Cunningham has a stolen base on the season. As Camerado takes this one over to third base, he'll look at the runner back to second, throw across the diamond, 2 outs either way, and now 3 as Camerado is thrown out at first base. Whitmore gloves it over there. Out number 3, Bulldogs leave 2 runners on base, but have the lead 8-1 heading into the 8th inning right here on the Pitt County Post live stream.
All right, here's a little about number 28 for the Bulldogs, Byron Belcher. He is a third baseman and a right-handed pitcher. He is a redshirt freshman this year, and he is from Sparta, Ohio. He went to Highland High School. His achievements include getting first-team All-Conference and second-team All-Conference twice. His favorite high school athletic accomplishment was breaking up a no-hitter in the 7th inning in a playoff game junior year of high school. His favorite MLB team is the Cleveland Indians, and his favorite player is Tim Belcher. We said if you could have any specific quality of any current or past baseball player, who and what would it be? He said, I would just love to be a freak athlete like Mike Trout or Bryce Harper. They can do anything on the field with ease. We asked him how old he was when he first started playing baseball. He said as long as he can remember, but he believes he began playing t-ball at 5. We said, what part of your game do you want to improve the most? He said he wants to slow the game down and do the little things right in order to help his team win. His plans after Pitt are to go to a 4-year university and pursue a business degree and hopefully continue to play baseball while he's there. His other skills include ice hockey. He said when he was little, he was pretty good at ice hockey, and he played basketball along with baseball all his life and throughout high school. We asked him if he could go back in time and witness an event in history. What would it be and why? He said probably 9/11. He understands it was a tragedy, but mainly just because he was in preschool when it happened, and although obviously it was an awful event, he just wishes he could have been older and to be able to better recall the experience because it's a huge event in history that happened recently. His pregame or postgame ritual is to always listen to music, and artists he always listens to before a game is Future, Travis Scott, and Migos. We said, what's something about yourself that most people don't know that you would like them to know? He said he loves hunting and fishing. And now we're going back live with Silas, Jay, and John.
Top of the 8th, 8-1. Pitt Community College in complete control of the afternoon's affair. New pitcher on the mound, Johnny Mack introduces.
Kyle Davis, 6'3", 175-pound freshman from Pikeville, North Carolina, C.B. Aycock High School. And that's Kyle Davis on the mound. So far this season, 5 appearances, 9 1/3 innings pitched, 9 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 6 walks, and 5 strikeouts with a 2.89 ERA so far. 7th pitcher in the 7th inning, and this one's lofted out to left field, coming in, trying to make the play, and doing that is Wheeler as he gloves the first out of the inning, and Daniel Totten lines out to center field for the first out.
Got a change out there in center field as we saw him on the base pass, Dylan Cunningham out there. Mac, really good read from a tough little choice there. It popped off the bat, but he made a really good play into the win.
We want to apologize to our viewers right now. We're experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties. The live stream has gone out, but I believe we still have sound. So we apologize for that, and we're working on it.
Johnny Mac's got an extensive history in radio, so he can carry us through it.
Trey Pausiero watches strike one. We'll try to do our best here. As Kyle Davis, 7th pitcher for the Bulldogs on the mound. Pitt Community College leading 8-1. This one's chopped to the third baseman, picking it up right on top of the bag and dropping it in fair territory is the third baseman, and it's going to be either a hit or an error on Tommy Bullock over there at third base. He dropped it right when he was trying to pick it up and throw it across the diamond a little bit too quickly.
Incredibly tough play. Would have been a tough play on a clean pick. That's got to be an infield hit, I would suspect, with the wheels of that gentleman.
Pausiero's on first. Kevin Barry will come up to the dish now. Has reached base one time. Gone as far as second. As Battling Bishops look to put together a little bit of rally here in the 8th. One out gone for Davis on the mound as the pitch is swung on, fouled away. And it's popped down the right field line.
Kyle Davis had a CBA college. That school's also had some nice programs over the years all throughout Eastern North Carolina. We've been fortunate to have some good high school baseball, and that's just another high school that adds to it.
Davis gets a strike there, 1-2, with one out here. And now the 1-2 pitch is swung onto the right side,
wow.
Poked into the right field, right underneath the feet of Pausiero, who is running to second and firing in the throw from right field, holding him at second. But it's another back-to-back hits sequence for the Battling Bishops.
We've had an opportunity to see some nicely placed balls today, finding holes and going through, and that's been fun to watch. Wesleyan hadn't converted into many runs.
Just one run so far. That came in the third inning. That was Christian Heisey, who doubled and then was moved over to third on a bunt and brought in off an RBI from Whitmer. Now have 2 runners on, only 1 out in the top of the 8th. They trail by 7 as Davis delivers the pitch, and it'll be killed in foul territory by Kraft. Almost worked as a bunt there, but he'll have to come back and retry.
Runners on first and second. As we get to the end of this game, I think we're seeing some people play for Wesleyan. That is, again, an opportunity to develop experience and to develop for the varsity squad, which is what Coach Clark says the JV is all about.
Swing through the breaking pitch there, and a nice sign from Davis as he gets that one to drop in for a strike. Schrock at the plate out of Nashville, North Carolina, 6'2", 215, is in an 0-2 count. And the pitch is fouled off, just staying alive with that swing.
Yes, protecting is as bad as he's 0-2. Interesting, Davis goes right and battles him at 0-2, doesn't mess with him off the plate or anything, just says, hey, let's fight.
Runners get their lead as Pausiero is on second, Barry's on first. Not holding him on too much, shortstop checks. Now the pitch is inside, and Kraft scoots over to his left shin guard, keeps it in front of him. 1-2. See where Davis tries to place this one. And it's fouled off once again. Schrock at the plate, staying alive with 2 strikes.
He's just barely made contact on 3 of these foul balls he's hit. Kind of dribbled one up the first base line and fouled 2 back.
He'll face a 1-2 count once again, as this time he'll look in for the signal, a little bit of an extended signal. And it'll be straight down the middle and a little bit low. It's a strike 3 call. Not sure what pitch that was, but it worked as Schrock goes down swinging.
As shadows envelop our whole playing surface now with just small streaks of sunlight left from the tree line behind the stadium, the young catcher comes up to bat.
Christian Heisey, who scored the only run of the game for the Battling Bishops, has 2 runners on, 2 outs in the top of the 8th. And the pitch is a called strike. 8-1. Pitt Community College leading after scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th. They've cracked it open, and the Battling Bishops trying to put a couple back on the board, and it's a ball called.
A couple reminders, we'll be here all weekend. The doubleheader on Saturday, and the 1 o'clock game on Sunday. First pitch on Saturday, 1 o'clock. Catawba Valley coming in to play the Bulldogs. Very excited about that weekend. Please join us all you can. Should be beautiful weather.
This one's chopped over to third. Belcher picks it up, throws it across the diamond, and out number 3 is recorded, and Davis gets out of that one. After stranding 2 runners on base, Battling Bishops aren't able to push them across. 8-1 is the score heading into the bottom of the 8th inning. We want to remind you that you are watching a Pitt County Post live stream internet event.
All right, and our live stream for today's game is brought to you in part by Pip Printing of Greenville, a full-service agency providing a turnkey operation for all of your signage, printing, or other marketing needs. Whether you need assistance from just an idea that you have, or if you know exactly what you want, Pip Printing is your partner in effectively communicating your message. They will gladly visit your business to make sure that all potential signage meets your specifications. There are no geographical constraints. Pip Printing can do business with anyone, anywhere. Visit their website at pip.com to learn more about this multi-generation business with deep connections in Eastern North Carolina. Or you can call them at 252-355-1636. Pip Printing makes copying the highest form of flattery. And now we're back to the live stream with Jay, Silas, and John.
Bottom half of the 8th inning, 8-1 Bulldogs. Again, we're here at Minji's Overton Complex. Beautiful afternoon game. As we were speaking about, we have the weekend coming up where we'll have 3 ball games broadcast. We look forward to that. Hope you'll join us. Tell folks about us. Stay tuned. Also, wanted to remind everyone we have a new editor-in-chief of the Post, our newspaper, the PittCountyPost.com, Hillary Taylor, and she's organizing things on the website, helping us in all areas of our operation. She's actually the boss, and so she has informed me that we have all of the old archives, all of our streams from previous ball games, and up on the website to be able to view. We'll be keeping those up, so if you got family members, friends who are working and want to catch the game later on, please check that. We'll have it archived up here very soon after the end of this game, and you can go back and look at the other games and that kind of stuff and enjoy that. Please take advantage of that. All of our live streams will be archived on our website, whether it's racing or school activities or ball games or other things. And we'll be announcing several live streams coming up in the very near future. For the bottom half of the 8th, back to Johnny Mack for the play-by-play.
Noah Schrock takes over for the Battling Bishops, 1.54 ERA on the season, 10 appearances with the varsity team in 11 innings, giving up 12 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 runs total, 6 strikeouts, no walks. And he'll come on in relief. Bottom of the 8th. And Nash Johnson will come up to the plate for the Bulldogs in a pinch hitting role. And he'll try to square around a bunt, pull it back. It's called a ball, 1-1.
Bulldogs have used a lot of guys, a lot of pitchers, and a few pinch hitters so far today. So it's always good when you can use a lot of players, get them experience, and have a lead in the ball game. Very productive day for the Bulldogs if this score holds.
Especially after having a couple rainouts, getting back on the field. Was worried about a rainout today, but 4 games have been rained out, so want to get players some action today. Is that one called a strike, 2-2, but heading into a big weekend series, it'll be big time. I know a lot of the weekend starting pitchers haven't had time on the mound tonight, but a lot of other relievers and a lot of hitters have.
Yeah, Coach Eason was pretty emphatic about needing some of his everyday ball players, not pitchers, of course, but his everyday ball players to get some repetitions for today's game because of the long layoff. You normally don't get a 10-day break in midseason. And that'll probably come back to stack on them when they're making up games, but nevertheless.
This one is off the end of the bat to the shortstop, thrown across the diamond. Posiero throws it to Rickson. Out number 1 is recorded. It was Nash Johnson in a pinch hitting role, and now we'll see Khalil Hodge, the freshman from Wendell, North Carolina, Holders High School, 5'11", 175 pounds. He'll step into the box for his at-bat. Pitch is called strike one.
Good opportunity for him to see something, maybe get him in that bat, get on the base paths, and show the coach what he can do.
Khalil Hodge in the box. And the pitch is a ball. Looks like Noah Schrock, who was the DH for today, taking over on the mound. Changing up speeds a little bit. This one's up high. 2-0 count. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Pitt Community College 8. North Carolina Wesleyan JV 1. And this one's in the dirt, 3-0. As
should be taking this next at bat to get on. I'm sure the coach won't necessarily hold him, but he certainly understands his role is to get on base. And 3-0, very few ball players in the park that get the green light on that. So make sure Struck throws it across the plate.
Jock delivers the 3-0, and it's down the middle, and he's swinging, and it's fouled off.
Okay. Well, maybe there's things about Khalil I don't know. Nevertheless, he saw what he liked and went after it, and hope everything works out for him.
Now a 3-1 count after running 3-0, and this one's in the dirt, ball 4.
And it does work out for him to get the base on balls, but, coaching is about points like that. I'm sure Coach Easton after the game will put his arm around him and say, young man, 3-0, we want you to be taken until you hear from me otherwise. And so he'll learn from that and obviously had a successful at bat anyway, getting on first.
First runner of the inning is Khalil Hodge, and now coming up to bat.
Shortstop, Clay Wilson from Aiden Grifton up to bat.
And he's in an 0-1 count now as Hodge gets his lead off first, and this one's in the dirt. Ball 1.
Wilson he came off on a pinch hit as the last at bat and did not look particularly well. I hope he gets a real dig in here on that back foot and gets a nice cut and has a good feel for this at bat to finish this afternoon.
The pitch is by the catcher on the right side. Hodge takes second easily as Heisey picks it up off of the backstop. That'll be most likely a wild pitch.
Runner in scoring position now for Wilson. RBI opportunities with a base hit here. Khalil with a nice speed out there.
As a lot of players getting an opportunity. One here for an RBI, and this one's off the bat, fouled back towards the Bulldogs dugout. It'll be 2-2.
2-2 count. Should be a fun pitch here. The pitcher's probably not looking to waste anything. May not give him a perfect pitch to hit here, but it should be a good contest between pitcher and hitter.
Wilson sees this one, takes it right back up to middle. He'll check the runner. Hodge is going over to third, but he'll make the easy out at first for out number 2. Wilson is thrown out.
That's an interesting play. Ground ball back to the pitcher. You suspect you'd want to keep that runner at second. You got to freeze that runner at second, between second and third, in the hopes that you can keep him at second and get the ball in front of him. You will obviously give up the out or give up the runner. They chose to get the out, so that's where we're at. 8-1 game, probably not a bad decision.
And it'll be another pinch hitter for the Bulldogs, number 5, Aaron Stamper, the sophomore outfielder, 5'11", 195 pounds, West Forsyth High School, Cummings, North Carolina. And swings through this one, 0-2 already.
Bottom half of the 8th, 8-1 lead. This may be the last at bat for the Bulldogs.
Getting some extra at-bats in here. Stamper has a runner on third, and he'll watch this one in the dirt. Heisey stops this one.
God bless you, Kelly.
Means Reese Farmer's day is over. He'll end the day with a pair of singles, 2 for 4. Yeah, Stamper takes his spot. This one's a ball high, 2-2. On deck for the Bulldogs, Braxton Green. He is the starting right fielder. So if Stamper can get on base, we'll see Green again for the 5th time.
Stamper fighting out of this hole, starting 0-2 at the at-bat and coming back and battling back and keeping things alive. Always good to have a decent at-bat, and starting off 0-2 makes everything tricky.
The 2-2 pitch is outside, called strike 3, and Stamper is struck out looking.
8-1 strike right there, Johnny Mike. It's an 8-1 strike for Mr. Kennedy.
Noah Schrock gets that one. And through 8 innings, Pitt Community College leads North Carolina Wesleyan JV 8-1. We want to remind you that you are listening and watching a Pitt County Post live stream internet event.
All right, we're going to take a look at number 27 for the Bulldogs, Dominic Camarada. He is a first baseman and a sophomore here at Pitt, and he is from Asheville, North Carolina. He went to T.C. Robertson High School, and he previously attended the University of Tennessee before coming to Pitt. His achievements are getting preseason All-American and second-team All-American. His favorite high school athletic accomplishment was starting the state championship as a freshman. His favorite MLB team is the Yankees, and his favorite player is Derek Jeter. We said if you could have any specific quality of any current or past baseball player, who and what would it be? He said he wishes he could run like Rickey Henderson. We said, what part of your game do you want to improve the most? He said his consistency, and his plans after Pitt are to go to a Division I baseball school and play baseball there, or get drafted, and then he wants to go to medical school. We said, what other skills do you have? He said he can sing, play the piano, lift heavy weights, hunt, and fish. We said if you could go back in time and witness one event in history, what would it be and why? He said he would like to meet Jesus Christ because he is the reason all of this is possible. His pregame or postgame rituals/routines include making sure his hamstrings are loose. And he said he always listens to, we asked what artist he listens to, and he said it depends on the game and his mood. And now we're going to go back live with Jay, John, and Silas.
Kelly, did you find what he did to keep his hamstrings loose?
I'm not sure about that.
Top of the 9th inning, last at bat potentially here. I want to remind everyone, we got a new pitcher. Johnny Mack will catch us up on that in a moment. Remind everyone about our streams this weekend. 2 starting at 12:50 on Saturday, the doubleheader, and then the game Sunday. Johnny Mack, back to you, pal.
Right-hander from Holly Springs High School in North Carolina takes over. Jake Isbell, the freshman, will be on the mound. 6 appearances so far. Started 1 game. He's 3-0 in wins and losses. 12 innings of work so far, giving up 14 hits, 10 runs, 9 of them being earned, as he has a 1-2 count right now. Struck out 13 hitters on the year, only walked 4, and has a 6.75 ERA.
John, it has been a pleasure being in the booth with you today. As we expected and all of us anticipated, you're very smooth and professional in your delivery, and we appreciate you coming to work with us. Looking forward to more time with you.
Definitely. Thank you for the opportunity to be broadcasting this game. Pitt County Post on the live stream. It's been a blast so far, as we're in the 9th inning here. And Isbell starts off his outing with a strikeout. Struck out Jake Guys, who is coming in as a pinch hitter. Now we'll have a left-hander come into the box. And that'll be Tyler Ricks.
You know, it's 6:38 on the East Coast, and we are getting quite a bit of shade over the ball field. Coach Eason has elected not to turn on the lights for the last inning, or presumptive last inning anyway. It's an 8-1 ball game, and it's always anything's possible. It's interesting. Coach Eason, I was speaking with him over the winter, and we were talking about something that caused us to discuss the mercy rule in some games, and he hates the mercy rule. And he says if there's an inning, we can play it, and we might come back and score 9 runs, or they might. And so, you always think about that in kind of games that maybe seem out of reach.
Stranger things have happened.
Especially when you're in the midweek game, the pitchers aren't always at the best, and you have a lot of different players out there. This one is swung on, fouled off, 3-2.
Certainly opens the door for unusual happenings. The Post team, we got a production meeting for Saturday after tonight's game, so we, 7 or 8 run inning, that'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Hang around as long as possible. Pitch from Isbell is in the 3-2 count, and it's outside. Strikeout number 2 for Isbell, and he's faced 2 hitters, struck both of them out.
I think overall, Coach Eason has got to be thrilled with the staff's work today. The scoreboard out there, and I don't know if our camera operator can pick up the scoreboard listing out there and zoom in on it. You see only 1 run, and that was in the 3rd for that line of theirs guest. So obviously exactly just about as good as you can expect from the staff, especially in a game where you know you're going to run a different man out most every inning.
Isbell has a 1-1 count.
The JV record for Wesleyan was 7-2, I believe. They're no joke. I mean, this Pitt Community College team has handled them. The pitching staff has handled them, and so I think it's been a all-out successful day for Coach Eason and his crowd. I think he'll be very pleased on a day that started very, very dreary with the wet weather, and thought we might have another cancellation, and this turned into a full afternoon of baseball.
Some time off if the Bulldogs can hang on to this one. It'll be 4 wins in a row, ties their second longest winning streak. They won 6 in a row earlier in the season, but a nice win here to kind of get back, fine-tune some things before the weekend.
Definitely. It'd be huge to get their confidence up going into the opening of conference play, I believe, opens this weekend.
Pivotal weekend as they head into the next month. It is the heart of their season as far as post-season play and that kind of stuff. So it'll be a fun month to follow the Bulldogs.
3-2 count, 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Could be the final pitch from the Bulldogs. Isabel throws it down the middle, and it is swung on and missed. And Pitt Community College, through 9 innings of work, saw 8 different pitchers, and they've held North Carolina Wesleyan to just 1 run on 8 hits, and it's 4 wins in a row for Pitt Community College. Isabel comes in and shuts the door on North Carolina Wesleyan. Final score 8-1 as the Bulldogs are victorious.
Thanks for joining us today, gang. Again, we will be back at 12:50, for our pregame show Saturday for the doubleheader. Please join us. This game will be archived and up on the post very shortly for folks who need to watch it later. Just a wonderful day of baseball. 8-1 Bulldogs. Again, thank you all for following us and listening to us. Take care.